Mark, got a lot of positive email on that guy.
Oh, I'm sure of it. He's a great guy.
People love talking about it, and they said he has a great radio voice. But anyway, that was Grossman Wellness Clinic, by the way. And anyway, I digress. Water is an essential part of our systems, and so many people don't even think about what they're drinking. Waterpros.net, the best systems at the lowest prices, 303-862-5554. Get an early jump on summer with Fix-It 24/7's Extreme AC Clean, a March Madness special at just $24.07. That's for up to 2 hours of service, removing dirt and grime, the #1 killer of ACs. I'm consumer advocate Tom Martino. Increase efficiency up to 30%. March only, new customers only, $24.07. Fix-It 24/7. Thousands of 5-star reviews. FixMyHome.com. That's FixMyHome.com. You know, LazyDays.com is the RV authority, and right about now, doesn't that sound good, going to the warmer climes with an RV? And if you want to find an RV, seriously, whether it's new or used, you're not going to find a better selection, better values, better trade-ins than you will at Lazy Days. We really like Lazy Days, and of course now they're Century RV became part of them, and I love Century RV. Our friends are still with them at that maintenance facility up north at I-25 at exit 240. If you have an RV that needs maintenance, they can do it all. LazyDays.com.
Hi, I'm Gary Bell of the law firm of Bell and Pollock. This is your Legal Minute. All right, let's go at it like this today. Raise your hand. Repeat after me. I state your name, pledge and affirm that if I'm in a car crash, I understand the at-fault party's insurance company will try to beat my injury claim. I will obtain and follow a legal game plan. I understand the insurance company already has their strategy and legal game plan ready to go against me. I know the first phone call to the adjuster is critical. I will not sign their releases. I will not sign their questionnaires. I will protect my legal rights and my claim. I know that I need to be educated. I'm fully aware that the law firm of Bell & Pollock spends time and resources to advocate and educate to help me on my injury claim. Bell & Pollock, injury attorneys on your side. Bell & Pollock can educate you and teach you to protect you and your family. Bell & Pollock, call us at 303-795-5900 or go to championsofthepeople.com. We'll help.
Realtors, builders, schools, even amusement parks all use advanced mudjacking. 35 plus years of lifting, sinking concrete from Longmont to Castle Rock. Advanced Mudjacking. 303-424-9441. AdvancedMudjackingInc.com.
Everything is so expensive right now. By the time you fill up the car, buy groceries, there's not much left. So you might end up swiping your credit card, trapping you into a higher interest credit card debt. Now, if you're a homeowner, American Financing can help you. Interest rates have dropped into the 5s. That's the lowest they've been in a long time, and much lower than your credit card interest rate. You know, American Financing is saving customers an average of $854 a month simply by using the cash in their home to pay off higher interest debt. That's $10,000 a year. You make the free 10-minute phone call right now to see how much money you can save. They never charge any upfront fees, and if you do start today, you might even be able to delay 2 mortgage payments. Call American Financing. You tell them Michael Brown sent you. 303-695-7000. That's 303-695-7000, or go online, americanfinancing.net.
NMLS 182334, NMLSConsumerAccess.org. APR for rates in the 5s start at 6.6% for well-qualified borrowers. Call 303-695-7000 for details about credit costs and terms.
Are you over 30 and putting off life insurance? It's time to get a quick quote from Ethos, a better, easier way to get term life insurance, all online with no medical exam. Answer a few health questions and you could be approved for up to $2 million. Isn't it worth 10 minutes to help protect your family's financial security? Ethos, up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up! and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Savings based on cost of consumer cellular single line 1, 5, and 10 gig data plans with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plans offered by T-Mobile and Verizon.
Did you see that picture of our front yard, Tom?
Problem is, I got to make sure they don't take it to my house.
Yeah, he does.
I'm standing outside the door.
Okay, so let's see. Delivery. And let's see. My address, 46. Let's see that. South Monaco. There it is. Today.
I'm Ben Ferguson, and I'm Ted Cruz. Biden gave an angry, bitter State of the Union. And Senator Katie Britt gave the response.
Come on, that's late. What the fuck is going on here today?
So now a verdict with Ted Cruz now to hear all the details. This hour from the Trajan West K-House Studio.
You're out of range for delivery. You fuckers still are all at...
It's funny, Tom doesn't know how to order pizza.
I have to. Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Welcome to the show. We're here to help you solve problems, answer questions, take complaints. All right. What is the most annoying car? I don't know if I asked that. I asked the ugliest car or I asked the one that's driven by jerks. Okay, Randy, it doesn't matter. You can weigh in on anything you want. Go ahead, sir.
Okay. The most annoying car is in a particular municipality driven by Boulderites, Subarus and Boulder that have coexist stickers on the back of them.
Subarus and Boulders with the bumper sticker that says coexist. You know what's really funny is, here's what's really funny. And I've said this before. This diversity crap and coexist, it's not crap. I actually loved true diversity. I truly do. And truly coexisting. But they don't really mean coexisting. What they mean what they really mean is, we want to be who we are, but we don't want you to be who you are. We want to be out there and do anything we want, but if you're regular, or that's even a bad word, if you're mainstream, they really don't want diversity. That's what's really strange. True diversity, honest to God, true diversity is wonderful if you have it. But I agree with you. And I often wonder about the dichotomies in social media and internet right now. This diversity, equity, and inclusion. If it was true, it would be wonderful. But that's not truly what it is. Just like the Center Against Digital Hate, it's the most hateful organization I've ever seen in my life. It should be the Center Against Free Expression. But here's what's really strange. We have a bipartisan committee trying to ban TikTok. I don't even know how that looks like when they do it. But I'm against banning any social platform, and I'm against banning any speech whatsoever. Sorry, I'm against it. I don't care if it's hate speech. Let them hate all they want. I don't have to read it. And
it has nothing to do with the speech when it comes to TikTok.
I know. They say it has to do with spying. That's just an excuse.
It's no, it's not. It's owned by the Chinese government, Tom. They know everything. They told those kids on TikTok last week to enter their zip code or else you couldn't get on TikTok. And when they did, their congressman's phone number called up, and these kids were calling the congressman all around the country. Imagine if there was a vote in the House or something that had to do with going to war with China or protecting Taiwan.
Do you believe it should be banned the way it is in its current form?
I'm 100% there.
Okay, so if it was owned by...
How about Jeff? If it's owned by anybody else, I could care less, as long as it's not an adversary. I'm curious what Jeff thinks about it.
Jeff?
I'm with you, Mark. I think they should be.
Jeff,
banned.
That's bored Jeff.
Yeah, both Jeffs. So Jeff and the other Jeff, seriously.
I'm honestly neither here nor there on it.
I can't believe...
you know what,
to me,
Mark,
an adversary owning that info...
I'm gonna be totally truthful here. I don't know enough about it, really. I really don't know enough about TikTok and who it's owned by. I haven't been following it.
Well, we already saw what happens when our own government tells people to take down news stories when it came to the virus.
I don't like it.
No, and they got rid of our president. Remember, they literally, Twitter got rid of Donald Trump's account. I think Facebook did as well. So now you're talking not just our government, but the Chinese government. That kind of control over data?
Yeah. Well, we're going to have to come to grips in general with speech and with everything, with AI. I mean,
I think AI is the big one, man. AI
we
is
have
gonna
challenging
be
times
life-changing.
ahead. We really have challenging times ahead of us. Do you know how easy it would be to imitate people and to perpetrate scams? Hello, ma'am. This is Tom Martino. I'd like to help you. You're the target of a scam. I need you to go buy some gift cards. Give me the number. You can trust me. I've been on the air for 45 years. Could you imagine that? John, welcome to the show. What's going on, John?
Hey, Tom. Thanks for taking my call.
Yes, sir.
I'm in the process of doing a home renovation, and in doing that, I had to have my electrical panel upgraded from 150 to 200 amps. I use Core Electric out here. Elbert County issued the permit. Core told me that they had to have an engineer come out and inspect the transformer. Never saw anybody out here.
You mean an engineer from IR? What's the name of your power company now?
It's actually Core Electric.
Oh, it is Core. Okay, I'm sorry. I thought you meant Core Electric as in a contractor. So is Core Electric the utility?
Yes, it is.
Okay, got it. So Core needs to send someone out to look at the transformer to make sure it can take your upgrade.
Right. They did that. We did the work. Core is telling me they're going to charge me $150 to upgrade my panel from 150 to 200 amps.
That's cheap.
And
that's way cheap.
Okay, but that doesn't include. I mean, my electrician came out and did the work.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. You already had it done physically.
Yes, yeah, I had my electrician come out and do it.
Oh, so what is that charge for? And is it a monthly charge or just a one-time charge?
No, they're telling me it's a one-time charge so they can maintain their transformers.
So they're going to charge you an upgrade price, and what do you get for it?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I mean, I haven't seen any report that the engineer was out here that did the inspection. The state's going to come out and do the final inspection of the panel, and my electrician I've already paid.
So it's just basically a junk fee of some kind, but I don't see how you get around it if it's an approved fee.
Yeah, well, when they called me, they told me as of March 1st, they were charging this fee, and it just seemed really
But it's just going to be one time. Let me get that straight. One time, 150, and that's for them coming out and inspecting the transformer.
Well, I don't know. That's not what they told me.
Well, what did they tell you?
So they told me it's a fee so they can maintain their transformers.
But what different? Okay. I'm sure it's an inspection fee. I'm sure that's what, but okay. We'll call and ask him. Deputy Doc is listening. Deputy Doc, let's call. I mean, or Kachina, can you give this to Doc? Is Kachina still on right now? I don't know, because so many people are snowed in today for what reason, we don't know, but they are. And so in any case, she's snowed in. And I think she's working. Is she still working at Freddie? I mean, Jeff. I called him. I'm going to keep calling him Freddie. Then we can differentiate.
Where the hell did you get Freddie from?
You know what, Mark? It came into my mind like a lot of things do. Like right now, two words are coming into my mind for you. But
pizza.
The second word is you, but I'm not going to say it on the air. Anyway, Freddie. He's going to be Freddie from now on because God spoke to me, and he's Freddie.
Why don't you give this one to Father John?
Okay, let's do that.
Yeah, I'm just thinking it's just an extra junk fee so that they don't have to
John,
go to the Public Utilities Commission.
Let's play this game.
Yeah.
Let's say they charge it to everyone, and it's an approved fee through PUC, and that's what they do. when they send a guy out to look at the transformer or allegedly send someone out, or they say it's for maintaining, that's what they mean, by the way, maintaining. They sent someone out to check it. Let's say it is. What do we do about it?
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm just going to have to pay it. But
I'm asking everyone. What do we do about it? It's a good question, John. I'm not dissing you for calling about it. I mean, what do we do about it, though? There are so many times. Okay, let me give you another example, John. HOAs have started what's called a transfer fee. That means if you live in an HOA community and you sell your home, they charge homeowners upwards to $495 to transfer one owner to another. Now, what does an HOA do when they do that? They say, well, we have to maintain our records. So what do? I mean, we're inundated with these fees all over the place. So I really would like Father, and it's not Father John, I'm just joking. I would like Father Deputy Doc to check on this. So let me get how we're doing this. We got Freddie answering the phones. Then we have Kachina Kalori at home working the deputies. And then we have Mark at home. Yeah, she's there. Okay, good. Thank you, Kachina. Then we have Mark at home chirping on the remote. And then we have our two car guys in the studio. So that's the layout today, okay? 303-713-TALK.
Very, very, very good, Tom.
Thank you. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com says, if you need to know what your house will sell for, he will be happy to give you a complete full report. This is not a drive-by. This is a complete report. We're talking square footage, comps, neighborhood, interest rates, supply and demand, and the market conditions. And it's a really good forecast to have if you're thinking of selling. 303-920-1622.
Now, Impact.
Text messages inside a 12-month period or 10-month period. You realize to who? That chick down in Georgia. And her,
oh, your kid, 12,000?
Yeah. Wow.
Hey, John, what's your phone number so we can pass it along to our deputy? Yep.
K&H Home Solutions, the oldest home improvement company in all of Colorado. They are moving into your bathroom. They're doing bathroom remodels. Listen, they do everything on the outside of your house as well. And if you need them to renew and beautify your bathroom, give them a call. They'd be happy to sit down with you and show you the options for maybe the shower area or the shower and getting rid of that old ugly tub, or doing the toilet, or doing the entire room. 303-421-7100. They'll be completely upfront with all your costs. Get an estimate right now. 303-421-7100, khwindows.com.
Do we just go to the fridge in the break room to get a water or something?
Okay. Do you know where our office is, that little cubby hole?
Okay.
Oh, I got time. Do you know where it is? That refrigerator
You
should have some water in it and stuff. No, I need nothing right this minute.
Anthony's Pizza, how can I help you?
Coffee, thank you.
Hey, Jeff, how are you working it out? How are you and Kelly doing it?
Huh?
Do the same people
Well, she's
drive?
Yeah,
she's just at
mine
home, so she's kind
are
of texting me right
part of
now
the
when she
subject.
can.
It's all taken care of.
Oh,
with
so
our
you're
station.
answering the phone and then just putting them on hold.
I have no
Yeah,
exterior.
well, I'm answering the phone and then plugging them into the
Right now,
call
I see
screener and everything.
right now.
Yeah, okay. I mean, she's not doing anything, basically.
Yeah, she's just listening.
Thank
You know,
goodness,
if
all
we
my
need to pass them
exterior-
along
not,
to a
not
deputy.
like my paintings,
Yeah, okay, I
but I'm
got you.
talking about all landscaping,
Tom Martino show. Would you like to talk
irrigation, shoveling, sweeping, leaves, trash. All of that's taken care of under the HOA fee, even though they're single-family homes. But then you take care of your own house, like stucco and, the painting, roofing, and all that. But it's truly a lock and leave.
Vernon? Did you say Vernon? Okay, hold on, Vernon.
Thank you very much.
Today's a laid-back, don't give a shit day.
Yeah, it is. It took no time to get here. No, there's no traffic. Everybody still stayed home. Yeah. I shut down at noon yesterday because we couldn't get any parts.
Yeah, we did the exact
Hey,
same
Thomas.
thing. Got snowplow out, cleared the parking lot.
Those spots are our next break, right?
Correct. Yep.
And then for the second half of the day, I didn't know what to do with myself.
Poor lady went into one of those oil change places and they drained her transmission. Subaru CVT.
Oh, that's an expensive fuck up, man. That's a $9,000 ticket right there.
Yep. Take 5 is an oil change place. I've never heard of it. Must be somewhere back east or something.
Oh, I thought it was a candy bar, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
Ten seconds.
Today at 4, 630 KHOW, Denver.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK. 888heating.com is continuing their free furnace inspections. Now, listen, be patient. Now, furnace runs the air conditioning, so it'll help that too, but be patient. They're free, and they can book it and maybe not get there today. Of course, 888heating.com. It is a free inspection. There's no strings attached. Yeah, they would love to put that sticker up there and show you how what a good company they are. And they will inspect your system. 303-770-2776. So if you have any problems, it's kind of like a free way to get it checked out. 888heating.com. So Vernon wants to talk, and we have Kevin Calkin, Jeffick, our car experts today, and he wants to talk about a transmission. Vernon, go ahead, Vernon. Hey, let me just summarize this real quick with Jeff. So transmissions, Jeff. options. You rebuild the one that's in there, you exchange it for a reman, a used one you can put in, or a brand new one, or never brand new.
It's very rare you're going to get a brand new one.
All right, so
Usually
remand, used, or rebuilt.
Right. On some of the newer models, they may still have new programs going on, but once those cores start coming through, the rebuilds that come out on the shelf, getting a new transmission, you got to buy a new truck to go with it.
Vern, your question.
So I had my 6L90E rebuilt. It went out. I had it rebuilt, and now the guy won't return my calls. He won't return my text messages.
Where was it done?
Mountain View Transmission in Berthoud.
Mountain View. Never heard of them.
I was ready to hear what's his face, Joppy or whatever.
So Mountain View in Berthoud. Okay. Do you live out there?
I live in Platteville.
Okay. Well, not far. Okay. Okay. So you're not. What are the problems you're having?
Okay, so he rebuilt it. He said the drum was out, the front drum was out. He rebuilt it. Now, when he gave me a quote on it, he told me that everything would be new in it.
You mean rebuilt? Well, okay, never mind. Okay. So do you have a receipt or something on this?
I do.
And what does it say on the work order or the receipt?
Okay, let me grab that real quick.
Just curious about that. I mean, I'd like to know exactly what they talk about.
Okay.
Yeah, like what do they talk about on that?
So on this, it says updated drum, new TCM, will need programmed. And over here it says 6L90E.
What does all that mean, Jeff? What does all that mean? I mean,
well, they did have a problem with the drum; they'd crack in the back, so they do have a replacement for that. You have
but
to put
does
in.
that sound like a rebuilt transmission? It doesn't to me.
Well, he's starting to go through the list here. I don't know how far we've gotten through.
Is there a lot more?
No, that's all he has.
Just a drum and a Tecum?
Yeah, so that's not a rebuild.
That's not a whole lot there. I mean, there's no true definition of what an actual rebuild has to consist of.
Yeah.
But he did have it open in order to put that drum in there, and if that drum was cracked, he most likely had to put some friction.
What's going on with it now? More issues, right?
Basically the same thing that was going on with it before.
Which was
it kind of slips.
See, but that drum wouldn't have had anything to do with that.
The drum definitely would.
How? Tell me how.
Because that's where the clutches live. You have to apply the piston.
You mean like a clutch?
Correct.
Okay. I'm thinking for some reason the drum as the housing. Okay, so that should have stopped that.
If that's where he was slipping at, yes.
Well, Vernon, when you tell them, are they ghosting you basically? Are they not getting back to you?
They won't even. I mean,
what did you? What did you pay for this? This is going to be a real clue. What did you pay for this?
$2,495.
That was a carryout.
Did you?
I took my transmission out, took it over to him.
Does that sound like a good price?
Yeah. No, he didn't get robbed on the price for sure.
Okay. So.
But who did the programming when you were done?
Mike's Automotive up here in Platteville.
So could the problem be we have three. Wait, so they're the ones that took it out?
Yeah, Mike's Automotive took it out. I took it to Mountain View Transmission. He supposedly fixed it. I went and picked it up after 5 weeks of calling in saying,
I get it, man. I get that misery. So then what? Then you picked it up, and then Mike's put it back in, right?
Right.
And then Mike's did the programming, right?
Program.
So whose fault is it? The installation or the rebuild?
Without getting more into it, that's impossible to tell. I'd have to break that thing down. We'd have to take a look at the programming, make sure something didn't go wrong there.
Could the programming be responsible?
The programming could definitely be responsible.
Slipping?
Yes.
Or contamination, like you said, when they installed it, if they didn't flush it out properly.
I never recommend this walk-in, walk-out. Do you know, because they can blame everybody else.
Well, most shops, Jeff doesn't like to do them.
No, as a
Especially
general rule, I
retail.
don't. I mean, I do them for wholesale customers on a pretty regular basis.
You don't want other people having control.
You want
over.
to control the job because that way you know if something goes wrong, who's to blame.
Vernon, you're not going to like this. You need, first of all, it's a car drivable.
I can drive it like to the gas station, to go get.
Okay. You need a third part. You need somebody to look at this, man. We can't do the magic. I mean, we need to know is it the installation and programming or is it the rebuild?
Right.
So we need someone to look at it.
Okay.
Now, how far away? You said you're up in up north.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How far?
I'm probably 20 minutes, 15 minutes from him.
And how far are you from, let's say, Colfax? And he's way far away, right? Way, way, way far away from.
Yeah, I'm over. That's over an hour.
Oh, wait. Hands on. Up in. How far away are you from Longmont?
Oh, I'm like 15 minutes.
Okay, Hands on Auto Tech, Tom. Man, he's a good guy and he's smart. Unlike the guys in the studio today. Just kidding.
I've actually heard of him.
Yeah. I want if you say to him, he's used to this. Martino, I was on the Martino show, and he said you should take a look at this. And you really do need a third party. And I'm going to give you his number, okay?
But like Jeff said, it's probably going to have to be torn down. Jeff, are most shops like Tom set up for that?
Yeah. Will you have to tear that down just to get an idea?
There's a good possibility, yeah.
Really?
Very good possibility. And quite frankly, he's going to want to trailer it or tow it into Tom if he takes it over there. He's not going to want to drive it.
Why?
He can cause more damage.
Oh, no.
If you have a known issue and you continue to force that thing to work, well, now you are compounding the problems.
I wonder what it's going to take. We have to ask Tom what it's going to take. Listen, man, you're going to have to he's the closest one that we know and trust, but you need to ask him what it's going to cost and how much it's going to take to do that. His number is 720-340-4024. Okay, One Clear Choice Garage Doors for all of your garage door needs. If you need a garage door, they can do it. If you need an opener, they can do it. If you need adjustments, they can do it. You want to know their pricing? By the way, it's on their website. Everything they do, every price they charge, they are so proud of what they do. OneClearChoiceDoors.com.
Now.
Does that all make sense, Vernon? Yeah. Yeah.
No, the whole takeout thing, unless you're working with somebody you know.
Yeah, I mean, I do a lot of wholesale carry out.
Yeah.
And there's other customers where I give them
Yeah.
a huge break on the labor because they want to control the customer. They want to maintain the customer. That's fine. But I want to control the job because I do not trust their tax.
Yep.
Hey, Jeff, tell Tom to check his email from me.
That language
I
came
will.
like that before, so that couldn't have been the problem.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
I think Kelly might have.
That's not good. Well, what I would do is what Tom was talking about.
RKC Automotive. Yep. They're part of our automotive network of great people. You can go to RKC Ramondo and his team on.
More than welcome to call back
they're on Evans,
show, but I
just
would
west of
start out,
Tejon. Good people. You can find them on
getting them moving on
Facebook,
here. I would start out
RKC Automotive. And you know what they do? They'll take care of you. When you go in for any kind of repair, they do a full courtesy check of the full car. They want to keep you a customer for life and check everything. They do old and new cars, foreign and domestic. RKC Automotive, 720-749-3965, 720-749-3965. Investments come in all shapes and sizes. I will tell you what you really need to do when it comes to investments. If you don't have a long horizon for risk and losing money and the ups and downs of a stock market, and you want something more guaranteed, something more solid, you want a fixed indexed annuity of a special kind. Now, you need to get the kind that has low or no cost going in. You need to get the kind that has very small surrender charges. You need to get the kind that guarantees returns and guarantees that you'll never lose principal or gain. You need the kind that also guarantees income for life. And when money is left on the table, if you pass away during this term, it all goes to your family. And all of that can be done at mymoneymyway.com, 303-779-6600. Call for more information, 303-779-6600.
Where you said they weren't birthed?
Didn't even come up on a map search.
I can't imagine the other shop, though, having his rig with no tranny in it for 5 weeks. You know? Whistleblower Boeing.
Oh,
what
he's dead.
He's dead, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
He was in the process of testifying and he showed up dead.
Well, he didn't
he showed up at the hearing and he was dead.
Yeah. That's what I was just going to say. He didn't show up dead,
He
dude.
didn't show up dead, yeah. But his friend's like, there's no way you committed suicide. You know, his friend would know.
Do the Clintons have stock in Boeing?
Yeah.
My favorite was the one that got shot in the head twice. Back of the head twice. It was suicide. Excuse me? I'll say you for...
Accidental discharge, yeah.
You realize how hard it would be to shoot yourself in the back of the head?
Especially twice.
Hey, Jeff, did you tell him to check his email?
The second one's the hard
Yeah.
Tractor's got a snowblower on it.
And a plow, right?
And he got stuck, yeah.
And he got it stuck.
He got it stuck.
He got his stuck?
That's what he said, the tractor's stuck.
Tell him to let a man do a man's job and send Suzanne out there to get it done.
He could hear you.
Send Suzanne out there, let a man
I
do
hear
a
you,
man's
you
job.
bastard.
10 seconds.
Scandals on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Okay, now listen. We're talking about cars driven by jerks, and we're talking about the ugliest cars. Now, I don't see necessarily ugly cars. Here's what I see. I see mostly boring cars. Would you agree on that one? They're not like my car. It's boring. It's not ugly. Not ugly at all. It's boring. And I used to have a cool car. I don't know why. I don't want to get into it. Okay. But in any case, there's a difference between ugly and boring, in my opinion. Would you agree? And so I think they all kind of look like this expression, SUV-ish. They're just boring. Doc, Deputy Doc, what's going on? You're also at home like a big wussy like Mark and Kelly and all the others. What's
Hey, I want to know if Jeff Vick is still wearing shorts.
Do you have shorts on today?
Well, if I took them off, you'd be surprised.
He wears shorts every day. Somebody must have told him he had good-looking calves or something, but I think they were talking to his calves, his beef calves. Anyway, Doc, what's going on?
Oh, I got in touch with Core Electric about John's issue.
Yeah, now Core Electric, the utility out there in Elbert County, and he wants to know why that $150 charge. I said, look, man, you know that if it's approved, they can do it. And what did they say, Doc? What did they say?
Well, we called up engineering. He said he got the engineering told him that. When we called up engineering, they had no idea what we were talking about. They were going to send it to billing. So what I told John, he is going to be invoiced after the inspection. So I said, once he gets the invoice, it'll say specifically.
It's an inspection fee. You got to do that when you get a building permit. You got to do that for anything. You got. Go ahead.
Well, I just told him when he gets the invoice, call me, because the invoice will say exactly what it's for, and if we think it's spurious, we'll call up Core Electric.
Well, that's a good point. Are you working on anything else?
There was somebody, I can't forget, who wanted a refund from I think it was a contractor. I don't remember his name. I can't find
Okay, I'll find it. Anyway, go ahead, but keep going though.
We got a refund minus, I think, $200 for a restocking fee or something. So he was happy with that.
Oh, that's wonderful. Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to look at that one here. But in any case, that is good, though. I remember that. He wanted some kind of an adjustment on that. Anyway, thank you very much, Doc. We got more coming up. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Get your calls in. We're taking car calls. So if you have a problem, question, complaint on a car or anything, give us a call, and we'll try to take care of it for you. And we have Jeff Vick, Kimmer Transmission, Kevin Calkin, Sheridan Auto Tech, 303-713-8255. It's not too early to start thinking about spring cleaning. Okay. All right. I really, I'm following this thing. So Elon Musk gave Don Lemon a show.
I saw something like that, and took it away or something.
Yeah, before it even aired.
Yeah.
And then Lemon says it's because he can't handle the truth. And he says, you can publish anything you want. I just don't want to do a show with you.
Don Lemon is the most talentless guy out there. I don't know how he lasted as long as he did.
Why was he let go from CNN?
I don't remember the exact. If it was just cost cutting and stuff where they were trimming everybody back, I don't remember.
Oh, fuck.
she admitted to having a personal relationship with Lee next week. A judge today issuing his ruling, saying Lewis's relationship with Nathan Lewis presents the perception of conflict of interest. ABC's Olivia Rubin says both sides appeal.
The question about what happens to the case on appeal, does it get stayed again, which could feed right back into Donald Trump's goal of the case, which is to delay. So already talk of an appeal on the ground.
My co-trip is working really funky.
What is?
Co-trip? The CDOT's little deal. Where I'm just looking to see what road conditions are like if I can get to the cabin tonight. And it says expect 3-minute delays, but then it tells me 5 hours and 13 minutes. Well, that's an hour.
That's
and
more.
13 minutes
That's
delay.
that's bigger delay than 3 minutes. Yeah.
The FBI has said it thinks it leaked from the Wuhan China virology lab was the warning. A different declassified intelligence report said no, the Wuhan wet market was more likely the culprit. Now a new report published in the Journal Society for Risk Analysis, which looked at all the evidence we have so far, says a leak from the Wuhan lab cannot be ruled out. According to the World Health Organization, COVID-19 has been responsible for more than 3 million deaths around the globe.
My neighbor across the street from me, his garage door faces north, so he put an electric driveway in. I have no idea what that cost him, but it's slicker than shit.
I had it was Wrangler Tire. I'm not sure if he's even still up there anymore. It was Wrangler Tire up in Granby, and he had the drive and the apron and whatnot done around the shop.
Yeah.
And the problem was it didn't go far enough out. So it would melt everything out, and it would get down at the bottom, and then just had a big old ice wall down there.
Yeah. No, because no matter what he'd do, he'd always have an ice patch right in front of the garage trying to get in. I have no idea what that cost him. Tear it out the driveway and put it all in.
Price of concrete, just doing a driveway is expensive enough.
His wife bitches about it. He don't say anything in front of her, but, you know, as she walks away, she says, yeah, spoken by the woman who's never picked up a fucking snow shovel in her life.
So why would it send me that way?
They didn't get a bunch up on your cabin, did they? That was kind of on the other side, wasn't it?
We got about 19 inches.
Yeah, it was just doesn't have 4 or 5 feet stuff.
Well, they were calling for like about 45 inches in Bailey. How did they end up faring? Mount Blue Sky, that's another one.
Did our camera lock up?
It blinked. I don't know what happened. Yeah.
Increasing sunshine throughout the day today, the high of 41. Partly cloudy overnight with a low of 24. Partly sunny Saturday and Sunday with a high both days in the mid-40s. It's 36 right now. With your impact, traffic, and weather, Dave O'Brien, 630 KHOW.
Did you know Discover wants everyone to feel special? That's why with your Discover card, you have access to 24/7 customer service, as well as $0 fraud liability, which means you're never held responsible for unauthorized purchases. Learn more at discover.com/credit card. Limitations apply.
Hey, can you tell him to put his earpiece in? Oh, we're going back up. Forget it.
Oh my gosh, has this happened to you? I'm going to talk to you about it. No, something that just happened.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hello, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. I'm here to help you solve your problems, answer your questions, take your complaints, make your life a little easier. And I want to tell you that ProBid Energy has solar systems for most homes at 21 grand with battery backup. ProBidEnergy.com. Pretty cool stuff. That's after your tax credits and stuff, and that's a great price to start saving money. ProBidEnergy.com.
Hey, there's some somewhat big news that just came out, man. Listen to this, Tom. I have got Frank Duran, the real estate man, digging into it because it's going to affect him and every other realtor out there. But they settled that issue. And what I'm talking about is a 6% commission. So these people that represent millions of realtors across the country, the NAR, settled for over $418 million.
But let's talk about what the case was about, Mark.
Well, here's what the case is about. When people list your house for sale, realtors use a thing called MLS, and I think it's I don't even know what it stands for, but it's MLS.
It's multi-list, MLS.
Yeah, and it's all over the country, of course. So they also put on there for the realtors. Remember, people don't use MLS, realtors use it. So they put on there what the commission is for the people representing the buyer. So they're no longer going to be able to do that. According to this article, which is headline on CNN, they're saying commissions are going to fall up to 50%.
So, Mark, are you saying that prior to this ruling, tell me what's different after this ruling?
The biggest difference is if I'm representing a seller, I'm a buyer. I'm the buyer's agent, and they're looking for a house. I go on MLS, and I see 15 homes that meet the criteria they want.
Right.
Those 15 homes also show me that I'm going to get a 3% commission or a 1% commission or a 0.5%. So the problem with that is a lot of realtors, and I ran into this with a realtor I use or did use in New Orleans when we were looking out there. What they do is they simply glance by the ones that don't pay that 3%. So therefore, there's a lot of homes that the buyer never even really gets to see because their realtor could, and I'm not saying Frank or Stephanie or people we know would do this, but when they show how much commission's there, the ones with not a lot of commission generally don't end up getting shown a lot. So this ruling, MLS is no longer going to show commissions.
MLS used to show what the co-op would be, probably.
Yeah, they did show what it is. And basically, I mean, this starts off, the 6% commission is gone. They're saying it's going to be less. They're also saying that, and if I'm reading this correctly, they're saying that the seller is not going to be paying the commission anymore. In other words, it's not going to come out of the seller's closing, which is crazy.
Well, hold on, Mark. Money is money is money. You can say it's coming out of the moon, but
yeah,
it's going to come out of the transaction. So if they say the seller's not going to pay it, what do they actually mean by that?
Well, they're saying I'm assuming they're saying the buyer would have to pay it. The buyer would be building it into their new loan instead of the seller paying it. I mean, I agree with you. You can argue it either way who's paying it right now. Ultimately, it doesn't care because they can negotiate it. But generally how it works right now, if I'm selling my house, I end up paying my realtor and I end up paying the other person's agent or realtor.
I want to know if Brad O'Brien has a spin on this. Do you
This
think
just came out. I know Frank, he was a little shocked when I read him the first paragraph. He's deep digging into it, but let's at least, Kelly, I know you're listening, email or call Brad and give him a heads up. Just tell him to go to CNN. It's like the number one thing there besides the Trump deal.
I'm reading it, and it's not clear the way they wrote it here. I mean, not totally clear.
No, I agree with you, man. But the big things I take away, 50%, 25 to 50% less commissions is what they're talking about, that's massive. Imagine if you're a realtor and you're looking at, at making half of what you did last year.
So home sellers bought the lawsuit because they argued that the cost of the buyer's agent commission should be paid by the buyer, not the seller. That's the buyer's part. And usually, in other words, I called it a co-op. In other words, if there was a 6% or 7 point, but whatever the percentage was, a certain percentage went to the other the other real estate broker. So let's say Frank listed a property, and someone who doesn't work with Frank brings a buyer. Frank would give them part of that commission.
And typically it's 6%. So typically the seller's realtor makes 3%, and then the buyer's agent makes 3%.
However it worked, they're saying that if the seller's broker comes to that deal, why should it come out of the seller's end? Part of it,
and I guess
I
got that argument, but the biggest problem that I see with this, I remember when Suzanne and I bought our first house in Parker, it took everything in the world to scrape together $10,000 to put down on it, which was 10%. The house was only $100,000. But listen to this, man. If we had to come up with another $3,000 in order to pay our agent who's helping us find a house, I don't know if we would have gotten our house that quickly.
Right. I understand that. But that's the only real part that I see being crazy is that.
Well, not listing that on MLS, most realtors are going to say that's huge because now how are they going to know how much they're going to get paid? Let's just look at it that way.
They used to list what the co-op is.
Yeah, now no more. The co-op is 100%, at least according to this article, it's not going to be there anymore on any MLS.
Because they don't want real estate people leaning toward the higher co-op listings only.
And I tell you what, one of the homes Suzanne and I really loved in St. Parody, I'm telling you right now, the only reason our realtor didn't show us that house, and I found it on Zillow or Realtor.com, is because they were selling it themselves and only offering 0.5%. But I know she knew it was out there, but she did not even show it to us.
Oh, yeah, because some for sale by owners will say in the ad, we'll pay co-op. But if you don't pay enough co-op, the real estate people say, we're not going to show that house.
So now I don't even know if it matters if they list it on MLS because it sounds like if I'm looking for a house, I'm going to end up paying my realtor to help me find a house, not the seller. That's what it sounds like to me, which is a massive change in the entire thing. I'd love some realtors out there. Like I said, Frank's digging into it. Hopefully Bradley O'Brien digs into it.
Good.
But some long-term realtors, let us know your thoughts on this.
That's a really good topic to do. Now, Mark, I know you like to make political bets, so I'm just going to put one out there right now, and I'm going to go public on this one because normally you harangue me into it, and I don't really agree to it, but this one I'm going to agree to, and I want my YouTube morons to testify to this. I want to bet you $1,000 that on the elections today in Russia that Putin will win. I'm going to bet you $1,000. What are you guys laughing at?
Yeah, no kidding, man. That's great.
Oh, damn.
I decline that bet.
He's running against 3 dead guys.
Are they all dead? They're not.
Not yet.
Is he running against somebody?
I 3 people in prison.
Anyway, so yeah, Putin's running for re-election, and I think he might be re-elected. Now,
and I bet you Kim Jong-un remains in power till he dies.
Okay, that's right. You're right. You want to bet on that one? Anyway, 303-713-8255. In other news, okay? Oh, I didn't ask you, Mark. The ugliest car. What do you think?
You mean like new ones or like in the past?
Well, you know what? Actually, it doesn't differentiate.
If you look back at like the Ford Granada, the Pinto,
the Pacer,
Chevette,
the Pacer.
Yeah, the Pacer was the Pinto, basically.
Do you know that Stephanie had a Pacer?
My parents had a Pinto.
And her Pacer, oh, she'll hate me for saying
Guys, weren't they
it was
death
a
machines?
Southwest model. You remember that with the wood panel on the side and then the bright colors, and then the inside had the fabric, you know, with the Southwest.
Like the Griswold station wagon.
Yeah. Wow. Anyway, but current models, ugly cars.
I don't like that square one with the hamsters in the commercial. Okay. I don't know even.
Do you agree with me that most of the time the cars are not so much ugly as they are boring?
I would. Someone, hold on. I had one come in here. Let me see what it says.
On my morons, don't take that. You can't take that with a grain of salt. The morons here.
This guy says BMWs.
Yeah, well,
but he says
they're not ugly at all.
Black,
they're all
he says
boring.
black BMWs.
They're all boring. They took one design and made tiny, medium, or tiny, small, medium, large, large, extra large. I mean, it's so stupid. They're so.
They all. Wait a minute. Hyundai does that. They have the Kona, then they have the Tucson.
But do they look the same?
Well, the Tucson and the Santa Fe. I mean, they've changed this year, but in general, they do.
What are they? The X1, X3, X5,
X7.
Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, but I'm saying everybody does that. Hyundai's they've got the Kona, the Tucson, the Santa Fe, and then the Palisade. I mean, there's four. Bigger.
We have a real estate guy on. Robert, go ahead. What's your comment on this, or how do you interpret this ruling?
So it's Realtor, not Realtor. It's Realtor.
Okay.
The way I see it affecting, it's going to affect poor people the most that can't come up with that commission to pay their Realtor. And so the poor people are going to be SOL. I see maybe banks allowing buyers to put that commission into their loan. But I see it affecting poor people the most, Robert, that are going to have trouble.
Interpret this ruling, because, I mean, we don't really fully get it. So to interpret this, what do you see this ruling doing to begin with? I don't mean its effect, but what does it actually say?
I didn't read the ruling, but I've been following the case.
Well, okay. What in your opinion, what does this ruling do?
This ruling was meant from the outside perspective, so non-realtor perspective. It was to lower commissions. And so they have done that.
But in what way? I'm asking you, how is it actually going to take effect? Not the effect it will have on people, but what do you mean? Like what does it actually do in the transaction?
It takes away that co-op.
The seller will pay their agent, the selling agent, and the buyer's agent commission will be unknown. That's up to the buyer and the buyer's agent, which should be negotiated prior to going out and looking at houses.
That's right. So what about this thing about?
I'm not going to work.
What about the multi-list?
Work for less than this amount.
What about the multi-list?
Most of them haven't adapted yet, but they're going to get. So I belong to two different MLSs, and so one of them said we're just going to get rid of it, and it's up to the buyer to negotiate with their agent and have their agent negotiate with the selling agent, saying
this completely changes the way we've been buying and selling homes.
Hold on, Robert. I have a question. Normally, a listing agent, when they write up a contract, put a commission in there, knowing they will share some of it with a
right.
Okay. Well, does that mean that a listing agent will now charge less on that initial contract?
They will charge whatever they want on their side, and then they'll advise their client, hey, to attract people, we're going to need to incentivize them. How much do you want to incentivize them? So I eventually see it all coming back to hey, whatever 5, 6, 7% the seller is willing to offer, and then negotiate once you get an offer with that agent individually instead of, hey, we're offering 3, 2, 4%, whatever.
Here's what I see happening. I see happening simply, this is what I think will happen. People listing homes will simply charge a listing and selling commission and have no co-op and offer no co-op, obviously. And they won't even name what the co-op should be. And then those looking for a home, they could get it for 1% to their real estate guy, if their real estate guy or gal is willing to work for 1%.
Or Tom, what happens is guys like Brad O'Brien, people go out, find their own home, and they close with an attorney for $1,000 instead of paying any commission.
That could be true. And Robert, you were talking about realtors. Not all, as I understand it, Realtor is an organization, and not all brokers and agents are realtors. Is that true?
True. So to get your license with the state of Colorado, you get your real estate license. And then if you want to join the trade organization that advocates for you, you join the National Association of Realtors, the Colorado Association of Realtors, and the Denver Association of Realtors.
And that's who settled that thing, Tom. NAR, the National, is the one that coughed up $500 million.
We got more coming up.
Hi, it's me.
Where'd that tornado go through?
Indiana.
Okay, guys. Genesis Total Exteriors, the name says it all. Total Exteriors. Roofing, soffits, fascia, siding, including stucco, windows, doors, decks, painting, railings, whatever it is. Here's what's going to happen. You will get one source to deal with if you're dealing with hail damage. That's GenesisTotalExteriors.com. You can also use them, of course, for any kind of home improvement. GenesisTotalExteriors.com. If you're looking to do countertops of any kind, go to the Art of Granite for a price right now. Now, it says the Art of Granite, but they'll do any countertop material, man-made or natural stone. They're direct stone importers, and they have a beautiful yard and showroom in Golden, but you can start at theartofgranite.com or call them directly and get a price. You just give them some square footage, maybe a pick or two. They're proud of their pricing. Tear out and haul away's free. And, of course, all materials are wholesale, the actual countertop material. 303-386-5919. Get your price, 303-386-5919.
Bernie Sanders is loose again.
All that's going to do is, if they do implement that, it
gonna
lowers
raise
the
the
wages
price.
coming in.
Yeah.
I still need you there 45 hours a week. This is what I
Well,
got.
this still has to have production. You can't just cut 8 hours out of your production.
Yo, so what do they?
They want to
pay will drop.
No,
that's what they're saying.
Pay at 32 hours. That they
Well,
have.
who's gonna say that? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
If you hire someone for 32, you're mentally thinking, I'm not paying you the same as I would have if you worked 40.
Right. And that's what they're saying, is that now overtime kicks in at 32 instead of 40.
They're just going to fuck the worker again. They don't understand this.
They don't get it.
Yeah, because instead of hiring you on at $28 an hour, I'm going to bring you on at 20.
You know what? Fuck. Do you realize if lawmakers just didn't fuck with shit?
Oh, please.
Just leave the...
Biggest oxymoron. I'm from the government and I'm here to help.
It was Reagan.
Where did 8 hours of work come from anyway?
That's weird. Good question.
I'm going to ask
When did that
Chat,
start?
damn it.
Oh, yeah.
My Chat GPT.
And I'm sure it's down from like 12, you know.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's actually it crawled out of the union sector.
Yeah. More than likely.
You can thank Jimmy Hoffa.
Did the 8-hour work day originate? Chat. The concept, blah, blah, blah. During the Industrial Revolution, can be traced to Britain in the 19th century. Ford Motor Company in 1914 officially did it in the U.S.
Hey, Jeff, you can hear me, can't you?
Yeah.
So Sanders just introduced a 32.
That's what we were just sitting here talking about.
We were just chatting about it.
Oh, no shit. I can't believe it. I saw it in the other
Bernie
room.
Sanders in a 32-hour work week.
And they can't, in other words, like you guys can't adjust their pay.
No, it's got to be the same pay.
Yeah, you'd have to circulate your employees out and rehire.
A fucking Happy Meal is going to be $75.
Ain't nothing happy about that.
Yep.
No, it's crazy. It'll never pass, though. I can't imagine that would pass. That would run almost every
No, it's
mom and
election
pop
season.
out.
We got to be outrageous.
Why don't I hear this motherfucker?
Huh?
How are you hearing him?
You got to go to
Mark?
offline,
Yeah.
old man.
Offline.
Oh, okay.
So, but I mean, you look at the workplace. There's certain jobs that you look at them, and they're certain jobs are meant for men and meant for women. Do you agree?
Hello, testing. Is Mark
I heard
there?
you before. I heard you. I heard you, you smart ass.
What do you say?
I was going to give him a hard time because he needs to send his wife out to get the tractor unstuck.
Yeah, send his wife out to get the driveway
that
cleared.
would be good.
Suzanne's been shoveling all morning.
Just so you could get back up to the house.
Shut up.
Might want to pull your skirt down. You're going to get chapped lips.
Oh, God. This is disgusting.
Advisors, TrajanWealth.com. 630 KHAL, an iHeartRadio station.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Welcome. Something that directly affects all of us. By the way, you can call about the ugliest car, the car driven mostly by idiots. They don't have to be the same. The next thing I want you to call about is this new real estate ruling that the National Association of Realtors were sued by consumers. And in general, it says no longer will sellers pay all the commission. Sellers are only responsible to sell and pay their commission. And the buyers who bring people will have to pay their own broker or agent. You see, this is the way it works now, is you hire somebody like Frank Duran and he lists your house. Now, Frank sells mostly his own stuff, but let's just say that someone else comes to Frank from another company and says, I have a buyer. That commission is split in a certain way between the listing broker and the selling broker or the buying broker. And then now it's going to be they're each going to do their own thing. So if you negotiate with your buyer's broker to get 1%, that's what they get, 1%. If you negotiate with them to get more, they get more. And the selling broker negotiates what they're willing to pay to get the house sold. And the other thing is they say that then there's not going to be co-ops advertised anymore on multi-lists. So you're not going to have buying brokers picking and choosing only the houses to show you that have higher commissions. So they're not going to be shown. And really, if you think about it, if it does work that way, there's nothing wrong with that. If someone buying a house negotiates a commission on their end, and because really, Mark, you said we wouldn't have been able to pay that extra 1 or 2%, but if it comes out of your side and it lowers the other side, it's all going to come out in the wash. It's just I know it looks like
No, they're what I'm reading is they're saying that the buyer is going to end up paying something. As of this second, the
Right.
buyer doesn't pay jack.
Well, I'll argue the buyer does. And
Well,
here-
okay, then you're saying it's built into the price of the house.
Exactly. That's
but
what
they
I'm
don't.
saying.
But they don't have to come out of pocket. So how's that going to work with an appraisal? So when the appraisal's done and the house is $1 million, where is the extra $30,000 going to come from?
Well, here's what I'm saying, is that it's going to be priced accordingly because the seller theoretically is going to be paying less commission. So the house won't be marked up as much as it would have been had they had to pay the whole commission. I'm just saying that with numbers, if all of a sudden I pay less to sell my house, I might charge less to sell it.
Well, maybe so, but they're saying that what stuck out to me in the CNN article was realtors are looking at losing up to 50% now. They're saying 25 to 50% less. If I was making 100,000 last year and now making possibly 50,000, I might rethink what I'm doing.
Now, here's how I think it can affect real estate people directly. Take someone like Frank Duran, the realestateman.com. Frank sells most of his own listings because he's so aggressive and he outbound markets and he's really good at what he does. So let's just say there's a 6% commission. Frank doesn't have to split that with somebody coming up and buying that house if he sells it himself. He just has to pay his managing broker and then he gets the rest. Everyone pays their managing broker. But here's the point, is that with Frank, if now that commission is cut because the sellers are saying we're only going to pay the selling commission, we don't have to pay the co-op anymore, and they cut the co-op out of that commission, and Frank ends up selling it, then he's screwed. Unless now selling commissions, maybe it would be written this way: if I sell it directly, you pay this much. And if I sell it through someone else, you only pay this much.
I think you're leaving out, though. If I go to sell my house now, I would never give my broker 6%. I'd be like, you're crazy.
No,
I'll give
I
you
know.
3%.
No, I know that. I know that because now the other party is going to come with their own commission. I agree with you. And that's where it hurts people who have traditionally sold most of their own listings. It's going to really screw them up. And I think it hurts the most prolific and the most productive real estate people, in my opinion. 303-713-8255. I'd like to know your opinion. Plus, it's car day, and we are talking about ugly cars. And as I contend, it's not that most cars are ugly. I think they're boring, to say the least. But, Kenny, I got to take a break, but I want to start. What is this? Are you looking for a good mechanic in Loveland? Is that what you're looking for?
Yeah, you had one on the radio a couple of weeks ago.
He's great.
and-
Tom is a great guy. Tom over at Tom Maggio at his name's Maggio, right? Yeah, he's at Hands On Auto Tech.
Hands on, so I can Google the phone number.
Yeah, well, I'll get it for you. I mean, you know what? We've had nothing but great reviews with him. It's 720-340-4024.
In Loveland.
Yeah. Well, is it Longmont? Okay, it says here it's long, but it's close. Yes, it's Longmont. It's right up in that area.
Okay, because the one you were talking about was it was 2 or 3 weeks ago. Was in Loveland, and this guy was great.
No, it was this guy. I promise you. You know where it is?
Okay.
I'll tell you this. I don't know. Let's see. It's right off of Highway. What's the name of that highway? 119.
Yeah, I'll Google him or call him, and because I guess I don't have to tell you, there's a lot of shady mechanics out there.
So you know Firestone Boulevard or otherwise Highway 119 on I-25. How far? That's not too far from you, is it?
No, it's like 10, 15 minutes.
That's exactly right. Okay, thank you, man. We got more coming up.
Now, Impact.
Frank Duran, the real estate man. We were just talking about getting someone to sell your house, and you're not going to do better than Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. This guy is not only efficient, he has stats to show he sells faster and for more money than the market average, and he sells more than most everyone else in the entire market, more in a year than most people sell in a career. You can rely on his experience, no gimmicks, stats to prove what he does. Call him. And if you're looking to buy, he can do that too. 303-920-1622. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. I was going to talk about that catfish thing, but I don't want to drive her away. I want to see where it goes.
Yeah. Well, after seeing the
Tom
picture.
Martino show, what do you want?
Of course she is. Yeah.
Oh, I got to do an image search, but okay.
Yeah.
So I think I can just click on it and do it. Yeah, it's. I'll look at.
Somebody's trying to catfish you?
Did you see the picture?
Uh-uh. What's she asking for?
Nothing yet. Just setting it up.
Yeah, but she's talking finances and stuff and investing in my fund from next door.
Yeah, I looked at.
Hey, what are you laughing at?
She could really be interested in me, man. What
Yeah,
the heck? Yeah, what the
I think
heck?
it could be more obvious about that, but she put catfish on the bottom of it, man. It's a freaking scratch and sniff picture, man.
You're a very successful, enviable man, and wanted to connect. So I connect with everyone that requests on Nextdoor because I want to build up the fund. But then she kept. Okay, so last night at 10 o'clock, she goes, "How's your day going?"
Hey.
Text dirty to me.
Hit me up.
What are you wearing?
What are you wearing under your clothes?
But I don't know how to. I'm trying to search. How do I Google search the image?
The image? I'm not sure.
I thought you could just right click on it. It's such a pain in the ass. I thought it was easier now. Maybe if it's in my photos, except I put it in my photos, my wife comes out.
Mhm.
Wait a minute. What is this? Oh no, it's so stupid. I mean, it's funny, actually. Stupid funny. Okay, so let me see if I can. I thought I could just right click and search the son of a bitch. How do you Google search?
How do you reverse search an image?
Google search, right? I mean, so that photo was pretty obvious, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It's like, hello. There's a guy named Muggsy in a basement somewhere. Or Vladimir.
Vladimir's living like it.
Oh. I even Googled the name, what a generic fucking name. Oh. How do you do it?
That's what I'm looking up right now.
You have to paste the URL for the image and search.
Download the free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Denver's talk station. Online at khout.com.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. The best guy in the world is on the phone, Frank Duran, the real estate man, commenting on this ruling. Now, Frank, to sum it up, what we think it says is that you no longer have to split your commission. Maybe, I mean, what they're saying is you have a listing commission, and people who hire a real estate person to find a house, they have a selling commission. And so the buyers pay their own and the sellers pay their own. Is that the basic of it or not? Basis or not?
You know, Tom, everything I'm seeing sure looks that way, and this is what I would tell you. I think what's going to happen, and this is just my opinion, I think it's going to knock a lot of bad agents out of the business, which is not going to be a bad thing, Tom. I think the real good agents that know their stuff, that can really serve with great value to people, those are the ones that are going to do well in a market like this. I think the people that are just kind of the flavor of the month or just kind of in this halfway, half in, half out kind of thing, I think you're going to see a lot of those agents get out of the business.
Why is that, Frank? So, Frank, let me get this straight then. When you list a home and you do a contract prior to this ruling, when you did a contract, you put a commission in there knowing you may have to share that with a buying guy, right?
Absolutely. And you know, Tom, that's always been negotiable. In fact, what we tell our sellers is, look, you know, you don't have to offer any co-op. Let's talk about the pros and cons both ways. Let's look at what we typically see out on the market. And I show this to them on the screen. I'll show them, okay, look, your competition, there's 10 homes, 2.8, 2.5, 2%, nothing. And we talk through this and discuss the best strategy to take. But
so prior to this, you would advertise what the co-op is on multi-list.
Yeah, they would know that going up front before we put the home on the market.
But that co-op comes out of the commission you negotiated, right?
Correct. In other words, they would invest a certain percentage into me, and they would know up front that I would take a certain percentage of that and put it out to the market to create demand. And that's what we would do, is push it out to the rest of the market, to all the companies.
Okay, but if, for example, you charged 6% or anyone charged 6%, and they only offered a 1% co-op, then theoretically you would get to keep 5%. I know you share with a managing broker, but I'm talking about your side would get to keep 5%.
Correct, although I would never do it like that, but you're right. That scenario would be correct if they were doing it like that, sure.
Now, hey, Frank, we've talked about this because of what I told you about the realtor I was using in Louisiana. Sometimes when people either list the home themselves or through Redfin or whatever, there's some way of cheaply doing it. It might only show a half a point or maybe a 1% co-op to the buyer's agent, and there's a lot of realtors that don't even look at those, right? I mean, they skim right by them because they're not making anything.
That's right, Mark. I mean, and that's, you know, and that's, I don't think that's anything new. I think you know that. I mean, they've been out there for years, and you know what I always tell people is just consider this. Is it the commission an agent says, or is it the final outcome we're looking for here? If it's the final outcome, let's look at that. If it's a number somebody says, well, so what? There's plenty of people out there that offer very low commissions, flat fees. There's others that charge more, but the issue is what is going to be in your pocket in the end.
How do you see yourself right now? If I hired you to sell my house, which when I sell it, I'm going to do, what would you now present to me? How do you see yourself conducting business as a buyer's agent over the next year?
Well, you know, Mark, that's a great question. I mean, I'll tell you the first thing we do. We'd sit down and talk about the services I'm going to render to you and show you how this gets done, and then we would discuss and make sure it's a fee that you feel is fair, and it's fair we could work the deal for you, and make sure it's realistic, too, to make sure that we can get you out there in the market and get you
Okay, but is it true, Frank, with this ruling that you no longer have to pay a co-op? The co-op is paid on the other side. Is that true?
Well, Tom, keep in mind, this all just popped out. I'm still studying it. From what I can tell, that's what it looks like. In other words, that the buyer agent would negotiate something with their buyer to possibly pay the fee. And I'm still, honestly, all this just came out so quick. We just want to make sure we get all the facts. But that's my understanding right now. We're still learning, though.
Frank, do you think that there are people in the industry, as Mark alluded to, that would overlook listings that paid less co-op?
I think so. I mean, my gosh, there's so many different varieties of agents out there. Some pay great attention to details, some just kind of don't, and I think you do see that sometimes.
Okay, and then as far as multi-lists, up till now, you could go on multi-list and see what the co-op is, right?
That is right. Yes, typically it'll show whatever at the very
bottom. Is it there today, or when do you think it'll actually make the market?
Well, my understanding is this is all going to change in July, this July of 24. Now, there was talk before this was going to be tied up in the courts for years. No way. I mean, this got settled pretty quick. So we're going to see these changes, I believe, in July. I will be checking with my MLS service to talk to them a bit. In fact, I'm on MLS right now. I don't see any notes or anything like that from MLS as of yet.
Do you still see the co-op, though?
Oh, yeah. I'm looking at them all right now, and I'm seeing co-ops on listings. So nothing has just gotten suddenly changed or anything of that nature. But these are the things we're going to be investigating and checking into and making sure we're doing things correct.
Mark, Frank, what's the lowest co-ops you see and the highest?
Tom, I was thinking the exact same question.
What's the lowest and the highest you see?
Well, guys, the lowest, I've seen people offer 0, to be honest.
Well, then what? Okay, here's what I want to ask you then. If someone offers 0, why would anyone show that property as a buyer's agent?
Well, that's a great question. It would be very hard because how does that buyer agent get paid? So I think they'd have to have a conversation with their buyer and say, look, if the seller is not willing to pay a co-op or whatever, the listing agent is not willing to split it, then how do we work this out going forward where my fee gets paid?
I think to go to that exact thing, though, Tom and Frank, I think it's very unethical if you hire a realtor and they see a 0% and they don't even tell you about it. I think it's up to that person to have a real discussion with that buyer. What are we going to do about it? Because I'm telling you, that happens way more than you're thinking. And the reason I think it sucks is they weren't good at communicating to their buyer. Hey, there's some properties that might fit you perfectly, but quite frankly, I'm not going to get paid on, so I'm not going to show them to you.
Hey, Frank, I'm going to ask some inside information here, and you don't have to answer this, but in the industry, when you list a commission in your contract and you sell your own listing, you get to keep more, right? Or do you ever have deals where if you sell it directly, you charge less?
Tom, that's a wonderful question, and that, for me, has always been a point of negotiation that we have this conversation up front with our sellers, and we say, look, and some of this depends on the amount of work you have to do, Tom, because not every deal is the same. I mean, my gosh, some of them, it does require more work, and we tell them that up front. If we have to do X, Y, Z, then it's going to be this. If it's going to be a lot easier or quicker, it's going to be that. And so those are things we discuss up front, so there's no surprises later. And I'll tell you something, too, Mark. You brought up a good point about, that you wouldn't be surprised that agents do that. I'll tell you, this is an industry. This is a funny thing about this industry in real estate. There's a number of people in this business that just, boy, I don't know if they put the time in the work in or whatever it is, but the people that really take this business serious and really take the time and study their contracts and, I mean, make that something that's very important in serving your clients, those are the ones I think are going to do well, regardless of what the commission
Right.
does.
I got to take this break, Mark. Hold on. Interesting, huh?
Oh yeah, but like you said, the good guys they'll figure their way through it.
I gotta find out more about my girlfriend.
You mean Vlad?
Image search engine. Google Images. Let's see. Now what? Okay. Oh, do I do this? Hold on. Okay. Yeah, there it is. You just... I found her. Isabella. I found her. Alrighty. Dan. And Eris. Lazy Days RV, if you're looking for a new or used RV, with great trade-in values, great service facilities, everything you want. Let's call it the RV Authority. Then you want LazyDays.com. LazyDays.com. That's right. You can even sell your used RV. LazyDays.com. And they're all over the country, so when you have work done, you don't have a problem of ever being abandoned in the country. LazyDays.com. Hey, if you have storm damage on your house, it's going to be most likely on the outside. It could be on the inside. But GenesisTotalExteriors.com can handle it all, even the inside. But here's what they do. They do the roofing, soffits, fascia, siding, stucco, windows, doors, decks, painting, outbuildings, whatever, all on one invoice, one point of contact. They can do your interior damage as well, and they can do home improvements. It's a company I've known and trusted for years, and you can too. GenesisTotalExteriors.com. They're looking at the dress more than they're looking at my girl. I want my girl. So, this didn't, okay, it just showed similar dresses. I want the girl's face.
Thomas.
I wonder if I go.
Mark's trying
Jeff,
to talk to you.
Smack him across the head, please.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Hey, are you going to get your Cybertruck or not?
Oh, if they haven't offered it to me yet.
Yeah, I'm saying when they do. I'm hoping mine shoots availability pretty soon.
I want to see it. Well, how much is it going to be?
I have no idea. I think the one I want's going to be about 80.
You know, Mark, I would do it. I would do a strike price of 80 to 95. Yeah, but
that's the 3-engine Plaid, if I'm correct, or 3-motor, I should say.
Well, I want that for sure.
Yeah, I might. I think I'd keep my S still, but we'll see.
All right, I got to go for a sec. Pieces here.
Oh God. Well, I guess we'll see all of you guys later. Did he make you get that stupid fish?
We haven't seen it yet.
we don't know. He ordered it online.
He ordered it online, so God only knows.
Who do you get it from?
Same place, Anthony.
You got 2.5 minutes.
Hey, Bride W. It might be ugly, but it's bulletproof.
Tom Martino show.
It is
so
ugly.
I can go to Denver again.
It's only bulletproof for like 22s or something.
Yeah.
You know.
Hey, quit ruining my bulletproof truck. I heard it could take a shot from a howitzer or whatever it's called.
Oh, yeah. Where are you going to test that out?
Okay.
Not.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm hoping, now that Tommy's out of the room, I'm truly hoping he's a little first in line and gets his so I can test drive and check his out.
Just to make double sure.
Just to make sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
He had his Model S on, and he bypassed that. He gave up his deposit.
Here's the deal. I'm hoping you get yours first so I can test drive it.
Yo,
Just
shut
said
up.
about yours.
That's exactly what I just said. You heard me in
He
there.
heard him. Yep.
I can't imagine having a truck, though, that can do that. Tom, did you see the new Roadster? You guys ready for this? 0 to 60 in like 0.9.
Okay.
I saw that number. That's crazy.
Yeah, I can't. I mean,
Here you go, Tom.
You'd have to have support for your neck.
Okay.
God. I think you would have to, in order just to use that at the old Bandamere,
I wonder if that
you
actually-
realize you'd have to have a cage.
Oh, I guarantee
in
it does. It was a
Yep.
project. That was expensive as shit to put together, though.
Yeah.
That
definitely.
Cybertruck with tracks on it.
So I guess
No, can't search
we
this
definitely
woman.
would be. So I'm guessing I guess my next question would be, so you
It
wanna
says-
go on air.
Hey,
and
Bri, I
talk
won't
about
pull
this-
that, but I
this
would
going on
switch and
with
start pulling my Tesla.
then?
Or my Model S. I would pull the Model S if I get the Cybertruck.
Yeah.
He went on. They're in getting pizza,
Okay.
Oh.
but they can hear you in the studio.
Hey, Paul, I have no idea what kind of
Okay.
tires. That's a hell of a
And,
good question, man. I was in the
hold
tire
on,
business for a long time.
So
Maybe
just to
Eagle
summarize the
F1s,
issue,
if you got
it's
them warmed
a
up,
Denver
would
city
stick.
official, you
But
said?
I mean, just right off the bat on a normal day, normal pavement, shit, man, I don't
10
know.
seconds. Hold on 1 second. I'm going to bring it back from break. Hold on 1 second.
station, 630 KHOW.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. You know, I really believe in a nutshell, it's not going to have a serious effect on the real estate industry.
I think it's going to be massive.
I don't think so, because
I think, like what Frank said, it's going to be the neighbor that you knew that got their license last year, that kind of thing.
But I don't understand how it affects anyone. I just don't, because all it's saying is the buyers come with a broker, they pay their own broker.
I think where it's going to affect is the total cost of buying or selling a home is going to go down. So you're going to have to make it up in volume. That's where I see it going.
How does it go down, though?
Because now you're not going to sit down and your realtor's not going to tell you as a seller that you're going to be paying 6% total with the co-op. They're going to be sitting down and selling your house for 2 or 3%.
Oh, okay. You're right.
It's just going to, I think it's just going to change.
So when that house goes down and they sell it, so the seller is only paying, let's say, 3%, then the buyer is going to have a lower price and can
They're
absorb.
going to have to work out a deal, yeah.
Exactly. Coming up also, I still want nominations for ugly cars, but I think we're running across the same thing that I suspected, and that is they're ugly. They're not necessarily ugly. They're just boring. So what's not boring?
I got everybody saying the truck I'm looking at and the one you're looking at's ugly, fugly.
Do you know what? I like it. I like it. I like it. I don't know what to say. I like
Cybertruck,
it. Yeah, I do. I like the way it looks.
I think it's cool as hell. And it's bulletproof, so we can go to Denver
But
now.
is it really bulletproof, Mark?
Yeah, but like Kevin said, I'm sure it's like, maybe a 9mm and below.
In any case, so coming up, what I was going to say is I'd also like to talk about the 32-hour work week. That is such a sham. I mean, how anyone thinks that's going to make a difference? Because I know business owners, and here's what they'll do. They're not, they say you got to pay the same. Well, when they hire somebody, knowing that person will now work 32 weeks instead of 40, in their mind, mentally, they're not going to pay the same as they have been paying. I don't care what you say.
And think of what it's going to do to inflation. A Happy Meal's going to be $75.
As I said, life is its own teacher. I've said that a million times, and I mean it. You can't screw with things and expect no consequences. We have more coming up on the Troubleshooter Show.
Believe it or not, most small business
consequences, those that are seen and unseen.
You know what I say all the time?
What's that?
Life always has consequences.
They're supposed to be anchovies on the side.
They're there. He got his fish.
Oh, did he? You got fish on that pizza?
No,
on these
he
poor
got him
bastards?
he got him on the side.
He gets him on the side now.
Oh, God. That is about as girly of a thing as I've ever heard.
Next thing you know, he'll be getting his tractor stuck.
Shut up. Hey, Suzanne thinks my tractor's sexy.
We had to have something to get her to come over.
Hey, what? You know what I got from my tractor?
What's that?
Change?
Gonorrhea. Do you guys have any idea where that's from?
No.
Seinfeld.
Seinfeld.
I should have guessed.
He was dating a chick, and she said she had a tractor accident. He thought that maybe she cut her toe off, but it turned got gonorrhea from the tractor. That's what her ex-boyfriend told her. All right, I got to go find something to eat. I'm going to end up eating a handful of fucking walnuts.
Have fun.
Can't have them, but I like them.
Are you allergic to them?
Gout.
Oh.
Walnuts and pecans will set me off about faster than anything else.
Seriously?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
I left my knife in there.
Oh, it's in the box, yeah.
Oh, he casted his vote, and he's gonna win.
One man involved did not pay the fare. What a stupid. Did he pay the fare? Get the fuck out of here.
God.
KHAL, an iHeart radio station.
Had a couple of people just kept calling me yesterday. I told people, leading up to the weather, you want to get your car picked up before it hits, because if it comes Thursday, depending on how bad it is, we may or may, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Calling like 2 o'clock. Is there any way you guys can meet me down? It's like, no.
Nope.
The other guy had a car there for 3 weeks.
And that was the day he wanted to pick it up.
Well, I told him, I said, if we plow, your car's getting buried because your car is in the dead zone.
Mm-hmm.
And no one here is going to help you get it out.
Right.
But it's like, dude, I'm just telling you.
Yeah, she's been texting me off and on about things.
Just come get your car so I can stop moving it around my fucking park, Well, maybe next week sometime.
KHAL.
I was there this morning. It's like, here, shovel, help shovel. And it's behind it.
Pounds, yeah. I can imagine.
But what am I supposed to do? I asked, you just straight up with people and they're just too stupid, I guess. I don't know. I really wasn't trying to be spiteful. A little bit, but not a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I really thought it'd be there until next week. Because you got to put snow somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Well, the thing is, you can charge storage charges, but if they don't have the money to pick it up.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate it.
I'm going to hold this car for
Oh, yeah, thank you.
That, and I stopped doing that too because I don't want any responsibility whatsoever for the car. That gets broken into and then they sue you and this and that and this, and it's like, well, you did charge them storage, so you should be responsible. That's what small claim says anyway. So
you want to know responsible? Responsible's coming to pick up your flipping car.
Mm-hmm.
I used to be able to do so many more. The Pontiac Aztec, that is an ugly piece of
Mm-hmm. I saw that one too.
Peugeot, Citroen.
Pig Watts.
Remember the Citroen? How about the DeLorean? To me, that's what that truck looks like.
Yeah, very
Kinda.
similar. Yeah. To me, the truck's is too boxy. I don't know.
I might get it, just to be different.
Don't you have to sign a contract that you won't sell it?
Oh, bullshit. Fuck that.
Seriously.
Come on. You can't resell it, you mean, for more money? Or
I don't know. There was something about it, though.
it is kind of ugly. I'll admit. It is ugly.
Well, it truly looks like a kid's drawing.
Yeah. Oh, it's rough.
Yeah. It's an ugly piece of shit.
He talks himself into it. He talks himself out of it. He talks himself into it. Where are we going for dinner tonight?
Have you seen the accessories that come with it, like the camper and shit? I mean, I'm not saying I wouldn't get it because it's ugly. Will it fit in my garage? How big is it?
Oh,
I haven't seen it. Yeah.
I think it's about the same size as an F-150.
My G-Wagon had more room. I had more room for my G-Wagon than that fucking X7.
G-Wagon's huge inside.
No, but I had more room in the garage.
Oh.
I could fit the G-Wagon.
Yeah, it's just a little smaller footprint.
I've never made a bigger mistake than that X7, ever. Never. And I've purchased cars a long time.
Coming back.
Tipped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Welcome to the show. We're here to help you solve your problems and help you make the best of your life if you have a problem, question, or complaint. We're going to talk about topics near and dear to your heart and pocketbook. One of the things I want to talk about, the 32-hour work week. Today is car day, though. We have Kevin Calkin with us from Sheridan Auto Tech, Jeff Vick, Kimmer Transmission. We're talking about some ugly cars. I got some votes. Deputy Doc says the Peugeot or the Citroen. Someone else said the Pontiac Aztec.
I second that one. Yeah.
That's an ugly car.
Yeah, it is.
What about newer cars? What's ugly? I think this is a dichotomy. The Cybertruck's ugly. To me, it's ugly, but I like it. I don't know why. Looks a little like a blown up DeLorean, right?
I love the
like
Cybertruck.
Huh, Mark? You like the way it looks?
I do. It's kind of ugly. I mean, I'm not going to argue that, but it's also really cool.
No, that's exactly the way I feel. I'm wondering if I'm going to be sorry if I take one of the first generations.
I like the whole idea of like they're all the same color. I like that steel. Actually, they might have a white one. No, I don't think so. They're all the same color that I see.
I don't think it'd be hard at all to get that painted.
Oh, man, solid steel like that? I don't know.
Well, hold on. Is it actually steel? When you say steel, is it steel?
It's bulletproof. It's got to be steel.
Well, I saw this picture of people shooting it up. So what kind of steel is it? I mean, it must be a heavy son of a gun. I don't know much about it. I really don't. And when are they actually going to be out? When?
Here's what it says. It's corrosion resistant 3 millimeter or 0.118 inches sheet stainless steel. So it's a 3 millimeter thick.
So it is like a DeLorean, stainless steel.
Yep. And have you seen the inside at all? I haven't seen any pictures.
I saw pictures, yes.
I haven't seen any real clear ones.
And really beautiful. Well, yeah, they're not like you can of the cars. They're more of a rendering of the inside.
Exactly.
And I think it's 500. I want to say it's 500 miles on the long version.
I wonder how they'll do in snow and stuff.
That's all going to be in those tires. They're heavy enough. I can't imagine.
Well, and the truck itself is heavier than a typical truck. So you're going to cut that snow a lot easier.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, drivers got a lot to do with
So a 32-hour work week. So if you hire someone now, you know what you're going to pay them based on 40 hours. If you hire someone knowing you have to pay what they say is the same for 32, you're not going to. What is the government going to say? Well, your hourly rate used to be this. You got to keep it that way.
Yes, they do. That's in the bill. You can't pay them any less.
Yeah, but okay, Mark, what that means is you can't pay your current workers. What's to prevent?
So then, yeah, okay. So what are you saying? There, you just fire everybody and start over?
No, but attrition. Well, I don't know. I imagine there's something in the bill about that. But with attrition, what's going to prevent you from lowering your pay?
Well, because big corporations, and where I see this affecting are places in retail like McDonald's,
or
Walmart,
maybe factory workers
Target,
and car workers and that.
Yeah, where you have to have people. McDonald's, if they're open 24/7, someone has to be there. You're not going to increase productivity because that's going to be the argument. You're going to get better productivity. But productivity doesn't matter at a McDonald's. It simply doesn't matter. You got to have someone there. They can work 1,000 times harder than they do now, but they can still only work 32 hours, and the store's open 24/7. So that's the main problem I see. And places like that, Tom, they pay the same amount generally for every position. Walmart in Colorado, if you start out as a cart pusher, probably pays the exact same amount to every one of those cart pushers in the state. I don't think they hire. I mean, think of the arguments that would bring. One guy's making $20 an hour, one guy's making 10.
Now, where did 40 hours even come from? I looked it up. In Britain, the 19th century, the 8-hour work week.
I'm pretty sure the French only work 3 hours a week.
The first implementation of the 8-hour workday was in America. Was by Ford Motor Company in 1914, and then it became part of the Fair Labor Standards Act of 1938 to set a work week at 40 hours. So that became law in 1938, a 40-hour work week with overtime starting above that. So now, are we to believe then if there is overtime to be paid, it would be kicked in if passed at 32 hours?
That's the theory, yes.
All right. Now, Eric has a comment on the Cybertruck. Go ahead, Eric. Yes?
Hey, so on your Cybertruck, why would you buy something that's not whole value? There was one at
that's
Mecum Auto
not what?
Auction last weekend.
I didn't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. You said, why would I buy? Go ahead.
So the Cybertruck is not apparently holding its value. There was one listed in the Mecum Auto Auction last weekend. Not only did it not make reserve, but it never even got close to the original sale price.
Well, I didn't even know are you telling me they were out long enough that there are some for resale right now?
Well, what it is, so apparently if you sell it now, because there's still like a moratorium on selling it, you lose some stuff through Tesla. I forget what the deal is.
What do you mean sell it now? Sell what now?
Because there's like a moratorium on reselling the vehicles.
Eric, I'm asking you this. Has anyone actually taken delivery yet?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't know that.
There's three of them here in Colorado. There's one that's wrapped in camo.
I did not know that.
Yeah, and there's at least three of them here. I've seen two of them.
To your point, though, Eric. To your point, Eric. I'm sorry. What car can I go buy that doesn't drop instantly either?
Well, but this is supposed to be a high demand vehicle that can't sell for its value.
What do you mean its value? I don't even know what they sell for yet.
Okay, you pay $110,000 for this vehicle, and the one at Mecum Auto Auction last weekend did not make reserve, and the highest bid was below the original purchase price.
But Eric, I don't even know what does that even matter.
How much below the purchase price was it?
I don't remember.
Because I'll make the argument that any car will go less than the original
that's
purchase.
What I just said. Any car you buy the second you drive it off the lot.
But this is a vehicle that's a high demand vehicle that supposedly everybody wants, and it did not sell.
That's easy because everyone wants a new one.
But this was a brand new. You'd have to look up the deal.
Tesla does not. Tesla makes you register it when you. That money that I put down on the Cybertruck, I cannot transfer that name. It has to be me. Therefore, it was a used vehicle.
You can buy the vehicle now, but if you resell it within a certain period of time, you lose some. Once you take delivery, if you sell the vehicle within a certain period of time, Tesla holds it against you. I forget the specifics.
Well, how do they do it? How do they keep you?
Ford does that too on their what is their?
Wait a minute. How do they keep you from selling it? What do they hold against you?
It's contractual in the agreement when you put the money down.
It's contractual that if you sell it, then you don't get a rebate or something.
Yeah, Ford's been doing it for years on their on their GT.
It's on the GT. It's on the GT40 with Ford, and if you sell it within 3 years, then you can never buy another one. And you are I forget the specifics of it, because when the new GT40 first hit the market a couple of years ago, it took 3 years. Jay Leno bought one of the first ones, and they specifically said in the thing on it that he could not sell it for 3 years, and it took 3 years before the first one showed up at Barrett Jackson or Lincoln to be resold.
There are some used 2024s for sale, private sellers who just took delivery, and they're listed as good deals. And did Eric hang up, Eric? Yeah.
Yeah, how much are they?
189 is one. Another one with 700 miles is 195. Now, I don't know if they've sold. There's one for they're all going for about 189 to 250 to 225.
You and I are going to be looking around 80, 90 grand when we get ours. Tops.
Now, there are some white ones. This is a brand new one, brand new white that must have been repainted or something. There's one for 255,000.
It's probably wrapped.
No, it's just but they're all over cars.com, all over, and Car Gurus.
Yeah, those people ordered them. They were first in line. They got them. Now they're trying to make a few bucks.
But do you think, why would people overpay like that?
Because they want it right away. You know, people want that. What'd the guy just say? There's 3 in Colorado. I mean, you know, people like having the first thing. Same with Corvettes. I mean, you remember Rolly? He had some customers that would pay anything for some of these Corvettes.
Yeah, so I don't see where these can't sell. I mean, let's put it this way. They may not be selling at 217 or 190, but I doubt, first
both
of all,
us lost our ass on Teslas.
I doubt the story that a brand new Cybertruck was not selling for the purchase price, the original purchase. I doubt it. If he bought it for 110, there's no way in hell he couldn't sell it for 110. There's no way. I mean, more and more people, the more I look at these, you guys look them up online, they are, well, I don't know if they're selling, but they are listed for all kinds of prices near 200,000. Now, when is the other one going to be out, the Roadster?
That one, those are special order, man. They're thinking they might start dropping in 2025. I don't know if that's correct. The last time the Roadster was out was like 2011 or something. But they're a screamer, man. 0 to 60 in 0.9 seconds. I mean, 60. I mean, it's absolutely insane. I bet they're going to top a quarter, though. You're going to pay $250 to $300 for that, maybe $400.
Yeah, and we're not talking about practicality. Now,
and
speaking of holding their value, Mark,
it's going to be the fastest car on the planet. There is nothing even close to that price that can come close to that speed. So in a lot of ways, it's a bargain.
By the way, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Speaking of cars that don't hold value, I'm telling you that you can buy used Tesla Model S's for pennies on the dollar compared to the new price. It's amazing to me.
Brand new now. They start, and you know how that works, but brand new, they're $75,000. When I bought mine brand new, it was $95,000.
So that alone is bringing down the price, but then the used ones, oh my God, they're just, so why is Tesla so bad at resale? I wonder.
Well, I mean, I'm looking at them here. I mean, I don't think it's horrible at resale.
Well, I don't know what you're looking at, but I'm looking at Model S's on cars.com selling for.
What years, though?
I mean, let me see here. 2022s.
Okay.
I mean, so not many miles on them, though. What's the ugliest car, Mike? Go ahead.
Cars. Both of them are Hyundais. Not Hyundais, like Mark likes to say, but Hyundai Sonata and the Elantra.
You think the Elantra's ugly?
You just called Tom's daughter's car ugly.
I don't think it's ugly.
Well,
I don't think so either. Mike's a moron, though.
Why?
He just always calls up. I don't know why he's a moron. His parents, maybe?
Oh, because he made fun of the way you say Hyundai.
Hyundai!
Mike, Mike, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, Mike, tell me about, you told me the ugliest car. What car is driven by jerks?
Any car Mark drives.
Okay, boom. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate it. Eric, you hold on, Eric. Hang on. I got to take this break. He called back to defend himself on that story about a Cybertruck not selling for what the guy purchased it for. Every single one of these Cybertrucks are selling for $189 and upwards on cars.com. They can't be that far off.
Fraudulent tax returns due identity.
Every single one of them. But these Model S's, they are not holding back.
It doesn't show an overall height of the Cybertruck, but the length is almost identical to your common everyday Ford F-150. The width is almost identical to an F-150. But a question of height.
Retirement Planning Center of the Rockies wants to make sure your retirement is safe and secure, and they have a great system. What they do is they take their customers, their clients, and set them up to build a nest egg, then to keep it, to generate income, and to minimize losses, as well as other things in a retirement plan. Not just the money, but the money producing more money for the future, and also your legacy, which is passing on what you have to heirs, and also insurances to make sure you're well covered. They look at your entire picture. It's not just one thing or another, and that's what you really need when it comes to retirement. Okay, there might be a lot of people with one element of a retirement plan, but when it comes to an overall plan, rpcenter.com. They'll meet with you with no obligation to go over what you have and make suggestions. If you like what you hear, rpcenter.com, you can hire them. 970-663-3211. 970-663-3211. A no obligation meeting, rpcenter.com. Hey, the Art of Granite wants to do a price for you for your countertops, whether they're granite, stone, or any other kind of natural stone or man-made material. You know, Mitch Floria at the Art of Granite has a philosophy. He wants to be of great value, and he's willing to put himself out there by giving you a price on the phone. So if you call with some square footage, you can depend on the Art of Granite to give you an accurate price on the phone. And right now, a free backsplash, free kitchen sink, and free premium edge treatment, and 15% off the entire job. They hardly ever have sales. 303-386-5919, 386-5919.
But I question the height because the Cybertruck has almost 7 inches more ground clearance than an F-150.
It's badass, man.
So, I mean, that's going to make it superior in the snow. About the only thing that you could do to be better to keep you from getting stuck is to get a tractor.
Shut up.
How high is it from the clearance? What?
16 inches.
16?
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're going to go, I just was on Tesla's site. They're going to be between 80 and 110 for the Cyber Beast. So the one he's talking about, I found the article that caller's talking about, Tom, and basically the guy was trying to sell it for $200,000.
He wasn't listening to you.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
So I found the article, and the guy, it did not meet the minimum bid. They were trying to they had an offer of $200,000, which didn't meet the minimum bid.
Oh,
but the vehicle costs less than $110,000.
Well, okay. Then you answer this guy because he's claiming it didn't meet what he paid for it.
No,
he might have paid over $200 for it.
Well, okay. I mean, I don't know why when you can go to Tesla right now and get one for 80 to 110. Unless if you want it first. I mean, that's it. That's what they're doing.
I'll tell you the worst deal ever in the world is the Model S Plaid.
But something not meeting reserve is stupid.
The Model S Plaid. Holy shit, that was.
Well, just Model S in general, man. When he dropped the price of that, shit.
So you usually sell at a certain number of years. Are you going to do that with this?
Yeah, I'll sell this. I don't know when. Maybe another year or two.
And then get another?
Yeah, I don't know what I'd get. I mean, if I have the Cybertruck, I don't know if I'd get another Model S.
There's 2 Roadsters for sale. Where are they coming from?
Those are old ones, I bet.
Let's see. One is a 2010 for $99.
Yep.
I wonder how they...
There's a free one in space if you can find it. And I think delivery, Tesla's very sneaky on delivery. I bet their delivery's under 500 units so far, but I don't know. The first 10 were in like November. Where Tesla kills it is at infrastructure. They're going to make so much money off their infrastructure.
What do you mean?
Those charging stations he owns up and down the highway.
Oh.
Ford's paying, Chevy's paying, Hyundai's paying. I'm telling you, he could quit selling cars and Tesla's still going to make a fucking fortune.
Really?
Oh, my God, man. You realize all these other people that don't have deals with Tesla? I mean, you might be parked. You might have to sit there a half hour to go 30, 40 miles. My car, I can get 80% juice in like 5 minutes.
Now, you think you're going to get the single, the dual, or the tri?
I'd get the tri. I'd get that Cyber
10
Beast.
seconds.
Yeah, that's the only way to go. If you're going to go whole hog.
Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors. TrajanWealth.com.
Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Ideal Home Loans, still doing home loans with the interest rate guarantee. So when rates go down, if they go down, if whatever, you get free refinancing, 303-867-7000. Now, Eric called back. This is what Eric said on his first call. Guy bought this Cybertruck for $110. He tried to auction it off.
No, he did not say that. What he said is it didn't even meet the buying price.
Mark, he mentioned 110. It didn't come out of my ass. He mentioned I don't know how he did, but he mentioned 110, and he said the guy couldn't even get what he paid for it. Is that what you said, Eric?
Yes, and I will stand and I will correct myself because I found the article. The vehicle was a Foundation Series Cybertruck, which is a very limited edition. It was purchased new for $120,000.
Okay.
Highest bid offered at Mecum was $200,000, which was below reserve.
Oh, well,
that's right.
okay. My God, if I
Now,
bought a
here's-
truck, if I bought a truck for 120 and could sell it for 200, I'd be satisfied.
Now, here's the other thing too. And
You
Mark,
said
you
it
were
didn't
saying you
hold
didn't
its value, Eric.
I made a mistake. I
Okay.
said I made a mistake. Now, here's the other thing, Mark. You were asking about what the penalty is with Tesla.
Yeah, I
So
was.
from the article. So if a buyer resells the vehicle within 1 year, they are fined $50,000 by Tesla, or a portion of the resale value, whichever is greater.
Oh my gosh.
The only way you can resell the vehicle on the secondary market in that first year is if for some reason Tesla refuses to repurchase it.
So wait a minute. All these people then on cars.com have to pay 50 grand.
No, he said only the first
more.
year.
Oh.
Only in the first year, but the Cybertruck was just released at the beginning of February.
Yeah, Mark, every Cybertruck here is the first year that I'm seeing.
So if
Yeah, but
if they
Tom,
paid
look what they're asking
$120,000
for them.
So they're willing to pay the 50 is what you're saying.
Well, yeah, if
Or
you could
more.
get
Or
250 and paid 110 for it.
Right.
But it's the 50,000 or greater.
The one that killed me is the Roadster. So the Roadster, This is the craziest business model I ever heard. If I go order a Cybertruck right now or a Model S, I know what the price is. You don't know what the price of their Roadster is, and it's a non-refundable $50,000. So you might think it's $250,000, and they all of a sudden price it at $1.2 million. You either buy it at 1.2 or you lose your 50.
That's crazy. A non-refundable deposit, and you don't know what the end retail will be.
No idea what the price is going to be. Now that's
who
only
in
the
their right
Roadster.
mind would ever do that?
Well, I don't know.
Hey, Eric, do you know the difference in models? What is the null model and what is the foundation model of these trucks?
So as far as my understanding is the foundation model is limited edition. That's like the top of the line.
I wonder what makes them different.
The first delivered.
Within this same article that I found, apparently the owner listed on a Tesla forum that he actually wanted $250,000 for the vehicle, and the most he could get offered was $205,000. But still, if let's say he paid $120,000, sells it for $205,000, Tesla's going to come back and want a greater portion, greater.
No,
than
I understand
$50,000
that, but that's not that's not saying the truck doesn't hold value, for goodness sakes. It does.
But to buy them right now, I'm on Teslas. It's either the rear wheel drive model of the Cybertruck is $58,000. The all wheel drive is $77,000, and then the Cyber Beast, which is 845 horsepower, 3 motors, 320-mile range, is $97,000.
Okay. Now
that's probably the starting price. What is it optioned?
Well, I don't know. I already ordered one. I had no idea.
Yeah, but Mark, when you say you ordered it, it was nothing more than a refundable deposit.
No. There is no no. You lose your deposit, but it's not a lot of money.
I made a deposit too. I didn't know I lost it. Oh.
Yeah, it's gone, Jack.
Okay. I didn't know that.
The guy's absolutely right. So once you're picked in line where they build yours, you're still going to be 5 or 6 months out. So at that point, they build it with whatever options you want.
So I can pick I'm going to lose my deposit no matter what. So I may as well pick one I like in case I want it, right?
Yeah.
So, and you can't transfer that deposit, can you?
No, you can't transfer the name. It's got to be in your name. The vehicle, you might be able to say, oh, okay, I'm going to buy a Model S instead. That I don't know. I don't know why that would be an issue, but they're not going to let you say, hey, I want to give it to my son. It's going to have to be registered in your name.
By the way, the bed of this thing is pretty useless.
I saw that too. It's like an El Camino.
I mean, it really is pretty useless. So it's a Cybertruck, yes, but man, I think he just did this to look crazy. Just to look crazy, I mean, and it really does look a lot like a DeLorean. Okay, what's on your mind, people? This would have to go in the category of one of the ugliest vehicles. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Don't forget, you call 303-MARTINO 24/7, 303-627-8466. So we're discussing the ugliest cars. We're discussing the cars driven by idiots. We're or morons or
how about the ugliest shop owners?
Well, we got them right here. They win.
Oh,
and then we have the whatever you want to call it, the 32-hour work week, and how that's going to work, or if what do you think about it? I mean, I don't think you can cheat math. And then we're talking about the real estate commissions, just like you can't cheat math. No matter what you legislate, people will, money's going to seek its level. Consumers always end up footing the bill, always end up with the labor. Consumers foot the bill. There's no made up money. The government doesn't make up money, nor does it just doesn't, nor can it discount things. Everything is made up. Everything.
It's just an election year.
Money is a perfect system in that. What I mean by that is it's a perfect system in that no matter how you try to take away from one end, it adds to another. There's always a positive and a negative. Never, ever, ever, ever. Even with inflation, people say, well, inflation's bad, but people selling things for more money probably like it, but then they have to pay more with labor and more with everything else. And the same with deflation or recession. The same thing. It's cheaper, but you have less money to go around. It's weird. 303-713-8255. There's never any cheating, man.
No.
Well, and then all you end up doing is, the same model that they use in grocery stores and fast food is, okay, if I have to start paying you more at 32 hours, but I still need 40 hours worth of work, I'm going to hire two people and they're going to get $20 or 20 hours each.
Yeah, but you can't hire people now anyway. So where's the extra?
You're right about, he's right about that.
No, he's absolutely right. Yeah.
God, Democrats are always looking to fuck things up, I swear to God. How can we?
It's just election year bullshit. They just have to come out and make themselves heard on something, and they get their name on the news and talk about it, and that's all,
Champions of people.
We're here for you, the little guy. We just screwed you for the last 3.5 years. We're coming now to help you.
Spring cleaning with Zero Res never gets cleaner. You know what? Zero Res has that name for a good reason. There is no residue left behind with anything they do because they use water that's purified, water that's electrically charged and alkaline based, softened. It is the best cleaning agent in nature. And they combine that with patented techniques for cleaning carpets. And there is zero residue. Safe for kids, safe for pets, safe for you. And your carpets not only look like new, they feel like new with nothing there left back to attract dirt. And they use less of it, so your carpets dry faster and stay clean longer. For March, you can get 3 rooms starting at $109 plus a free hallway and $75 off their fantastic duct cleaning, which uses the same safe principle, so you're not breathing any of that garbage. You're breathing just purified air. That is ZeroResDenver.com, 303-471-5150, 471-5150. When you start thinking about investments, you want safety, you want growth, you want security and income. All of that comes with certain investment products called fixed indexed annuities. They are not all created equally. That's why I trust Joe Chiano and his team to point you in the direction of ones that give you guaranteed income. But while you are growing your nest egg, it's guaranteed growth with guarantees never to lose principal, never to lose interest. You just can't beat that. And that's also guaranteed income. 303-779-6600, 779-6600.
And to answer your question, where you're going to find the employees is when the market is only providing 20 hours each, but they need.
You got to have 2 and 3 jobs.
Exactly. Yeah. So you're actually going to put more of a pinch on the worker.
That's a big reason why I don't open weekends, because I don't have enough people, qualified people, for another full day and a half. Some of these places, I don't know who just moved in town, Big Brand Tire or something. They're 7 days a week. I don't know how they're getting people.
Most of them are not their own employees. If you look at, because Hometown Tire Pros.
Okay.
Most of the guys that are in there, unless they're some of their heavier line techs, aren't employees of the company. They're run through services.
Seriously?
Mm-hmm.
So
I didn't know that, Jeff. That's crazy.
Oh yeah, 100%. You could walk in there and 7 days a week you can see 7 different tire busters, and none of them are their employees. They can get rid of them at any time. They don't have any. They don't have to pay unemployment on them. There's no risk there. So. They're not their actual employees, so they're actually covered by the temp agency as far as their workers' comp is concerned. So, but those are always just the flunkies.
Yeah.
Your tire busters and battery changers and shit like that.
Well, I can't even remember what Goodyear we would call them. GS's, General Service.
General Service, yeah, Lube Techs.
Lube Tech, yep.
Which never made sense to me. You know, you having a kid who's like the first contact with your customer working on their cars. I just never understood that. They screw up more things and lose more customers than you could ever benefit from.
Discount Tire does it right, though, man. Those guys got the tire business down. Just pat. It's remarkable, actually.
Well, Hometown Tire Pros, the guys, you remember the guys who were next to me, Troy?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he ended up, because they built their own building over across from the hospital there. Big, beautiful building, still not sufficient parking. That guy does a hell of a fucking business. Well, he actually ended up getting bought up almost 2 years ago now by the parent company of the Groove Automotive Group.
Oh, wow.
And they kept him on because they want him to open 11 more stores.
Very cool.
So when he gets a new truck every year and all the other perks that go along with being one of the bigwigs.
Nice gig.
Troy's a hard worker, though, boy. He's earning every freaking penny of that. I'll tell you that.
How old is he?
He's my age. I think we're within like a few months of each other.
Yeah.
You remember the tire shop that used to be next door to me, Troy's Hometown Tire? Well, he ended up building his own building across the street from the hospital up by us, and he grew it. And I mean, seriously, not sufficient parking. He has a heck of a time with parking. Well, he ended up getting bought up here about 2 years ago by the parent company for the Groove Automotive Group. And they kept him on as basically almost like administration, but he does definitely still get his hands dirty. And they want him to open 11 more stores.
What did he do different?
10 seconds, come back.
Just, he's got a great business model, and he pounds the hell out.
KHOW, an iHeartRadio station.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. All right. Have you ever done a wrong number?
Like dialing it?
Yeah.
Oh, who hasn't?
Of course.
Well, we've done pocket dialing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But actually wrong number where you think you're calling somebody. Okay. Have you ever, I just want to take a little temperature here, and I'm not admitting to anything. Have you ever called someone and while it's ringing, you forgot who you were calling?
Oh, God, help him.
It didn't happen to me.
Liar.
Except once in my life. Has that ever happened to you?
Who
Ever?
did you just forget to call?
No, I didn't. I'm just asking questions because something can't. Here, and then here's another thing. This is the worst that could happen, and yet it happens. But I want to know if anyone admits this. Have you ever been texting, and for some reason you're on the last text you did, and then you get a new text? So you want to respond to that text, but you respond on the wrong
Yes.
text.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
But have you ever done it where, for example, Mark's texting with me, right? And he's the last one. And then I read, okay. So then all of a sudden I get a text from someone else, and it says, you know, what's happening, blah, blah, blah. And then you remark, I can't right now. I'm texting Mark. He's an ass, blah, blah, blah. Okay. No, I'm serious. I'm dead serious. Have you ever? I've done that once.
Okay.
I actually responded to someone talking about the person who never mind.
My poor dad, I was texting back and forth with him before he came out for his 80th birthday, which was, I don't know, a few months ago.
Yeah.
So I was so frustrated. I was texting him in one text and Suzanne on the other.
That's right.
And I was telling Suzanne, he's still not doing this. He's not going to bring out his CPAP machine. And I was getting very frustrated with my dad because of his health.
Yeah, he's a pain in the ass or whatever.
He's whatever. And I accidentally sent back to him what a pain in the ass he was. Oh. And I realized I did it after I sent it. So the only thing I could come up with is I said, Dad, I just get very frustrated with you when it comes to how you're taking care of yourself. And that was actually meant for Suzanne, and I'm sorry you saw it.
So I'm not going to mention any names. So if somebody outs themselves, it's not because of me. But I got one earlier today during the show, and it says, just get home safely. I love you very much and miss you. But it wasn't my wife.
It wasn't your wife?
No. It was somebody who did it by mistake.
Let me ask you this. Was it Jeff sitting next to you?
Yeah. And then it says, oh, damn, this wasn't for you. And then I wrote, I like the part, miss you. Anyway, that's funny. And if she can out herself if she wants. But anyway, that's what brought it up.
So to your first thing, though, I want to say this. 303 Martino is 1 digit off from a electric company.
Yeah.
So at a certain time of the month when electric bills are due or past due, we probably get, up to 30, 50 messages from these poor people that think they're calling the power company.
I know it. And I forget one time this is a true story. I get a phone call and it says, stop. Wait. What happened? Oh, somebody called me by mistake. That's what it was. And she says he knows about us. And it was the wrong number. And I said, what are you talking about? And then all of a sudden I hear him yelling, this guy, and he grabs her phone. And he gets on the phone and says, listen, I know who you are. I found out about this. It's going to end today. And he says, in fact, if you don't get over here and we talk this out in like an hour, there's going to be hell to pay, and hangs up.
You got this?
Yeah.
Holy moly.
Now,
that poor sap had no idea. He was supposed to be coming over.
And this was before, I don't believe it was it was a long time ago, but it's God's honest truth. But I didn't capture the number. It's not like I could call him back. So I say, Bud, this is not me. If I don't show up, I don't want your wife getting hurt. No, but seriously, I'll never forget that call. Then another one, I get a call, and the guy says, well, I thought this was so-and-so. And I says, no. He says, and he thought it was bottom line, he thought it was a sex line. But for some reason that morning, and I was in Franktown, and it was a snowy day, I had gotten 3 or 4 of those calls. So somehow, remember how they used to say lines were crossed?
Yeah, but at $1.99 a minute and 99 cents each just a minute after that, I will talk however you want me to.
Yeah, but I wasn't getting paid.
The 900 numbers.
Anyway, we got more coming up.
My parents used to have a phone number that was 1 digit off from KOSI. And so we would always know when they were holding some sort of contest or something like that, because the phones would start ringing off the hook. Well, my mom would always intercept because I'd screw with people. And I had one guy say, yeah, you're the 10th caller. What are the last 3 songs we played? It didn't matter what he rambled out. They were going to be right because I have no idea, right? Sure. So he starts rambling out, and I'm just getting more and more excited. Yeah, you almost won the $10,000. Now all you have to do is, you know that purple zinc oxide you can get? Yeah. Cover your face in that. Dress up in all purple. Put on a pony hat. No. I want you to come down to the Clear Channel mothership, and when you walk in there, I want you to yell, I'm a one-eyed, one-horned, flying purple people, and I'm here to see D-Rod. I don't know if you remember D-Rod. Dave Rodriguez was the KBPI promotions director. Well, first of all, KOSI isn't part of you guys', so sent them to the wrong place to begin with. Well, it turned out great. The guy shows up. Governor Bill Owens is downstairs waiting to see somebody, and this jackass goes walking in here screaming, I'm a one-eyed one.
Oh, sorry. So, RKC Automotive is a great auto repair shop to add to our family at the Troubleshooter Show. And RKC Ramondo and his team love doing maintenance for you in a very value-minded way, honesty, of course, and integrity. He's been there many, many years, and here's what he does. He'll take a look at your car, and no matter what repair he does a courtesy inspection of the entire car. He wants to keep accurate records and keep you apprised of things that might need attention in the future. Of course, he does used car checkouts as well, and he does also foreign and domestic. He's on Evans west of Tejon, and also he also is on Facebook, RKC Automotive in Denver, 720-749-3965, 720-749-3965. Now, Frank Duran, the real estate man. Who is he? Well, you've heard him on this show as our real estate expert. He's a great guy that does buying and selling of real estate, and he does it honestly, ethically, and efficiently. In fact, he has stats to show he can sell your house faster and for more money than the market average almost every single time, and he's been doing it for 30 years. If you want a market valuation of your home to find out what it will sell for, he'll gladly do it at 303-920-1622.
So anyway, whoever was behind the desk just sat there. I guess she didn't say a word. And so she pushes a button. Dave, yeah, there's somebody here to see you. So as soon as he gets off the elevator, this guy starts yelling it all over again. Dave's like, who are you and what are you here for?
And how do you know it happened that way? Like it went down?
Dave was my neighbor.
Oh.
So, oh my God. So anyway, he finds out the whole story. He said, I don't know who's pranking you, bud. Says, but Cozy is not even part of this corporation. Sent this guy on his way. It was like 2 weeks later, I'm over at his house and we're having a beer and we're just talking about stuff. And he goes, oh, the craziest thing happened the other day.
You're a sad person.
Oh, it was funny. It was great. I didn't even know the joke pulled off.
Yeah.
After I hung up with the guy, I thought that was the last I'd hear of it.
When I first moved to Lisbon, we had a party line.
Yes. I remember those.
Yep, we had different rings.
1 ring, 2 ring, 3 ring. And one lady 2 houses down, you could always hear her on the phone.
She was listening in.
All the freaking time. And then it was long distance to call from Elizabeth to my shop. So I had to buy like a dialing service. You know, we dial into a number and then dial a number, you know. Because it was costing me $300-400 a month to call from my back and forth to the shop.
Mm-hmm.
It was local to Littleton, but anywhere past like 470 was long distance or something.
We lived at a place once where it was literally like we couldn't call our friends across the street because it was long distance.
Yeah. No, they have weird borders that way. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm quite the stud on next door.
Catching more fish?
God.
Experience the Navage difference yourself. Navage is available at Navage.com or at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, and Rite Aid. Navage. N-A-V-A-G-E.
Uber and Lyft say they're pulling out of Minneapolis because they have to pay minimum wage to all their drivers, $16 an hour.
That is so fucking ridiculous. They're not employees.
They're not.
See?
So,
okay, Minneapolis, fuck
so they're
yourself.
just like, okay, fine, we're gone.
Now, how can they even say that if somebody is totally independent?
They're mending them. They're not making them independent anymore. They're calling them employees. The only way they can. I thought California's trying to state them as employees as opposed to contract. Oregon or California, one of the two was doing that, trying to.
Oh God, where is it going to end?
That's also going to change the way that everybody has to do their taxes and everything else going along with that. Okay, I'm paying you $16 an hour, but now I got to take out the state and taxes. Okay, now do I have to cover them with workman's comp?
Yep.
Thinks the way I do.
Dan Kaplis.
And Kaplis, he keeps fighting the good fight.
On Denver's talk station.
The station I keep it on.
630 KHOW.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Okay. Let's go to Kelly. Kelly, what are you calling in about, pray tell?
Okay. I accidentally texted you. I thought you were my husband.
I didn't out you. Just so you know, I didn't mention your name. Go ahead.
It's been a weird day, okay? So out there listening, yeah, it was me. I told Tom I loved him.
and missed me. Hurry home.
And missed you.
And
yes.
you talked about your school, your alma mater. You said, hey, they're playing like crap.
Oh, yeah, Purdue. They were earlier. I had them on in the background, but honestly, I didn't get to watch the show because I'm working here, so I'm trying to back, Jazzy and everybody who's, pinch hitting for us who are snowed in and everything. Apparently Purdue won, so I'm happy about that. But it was really funny because when I texted back and I'm like, to my husband, that's all you have? Nothing? Like kind of pissed off.
Oh, that he didn't answer you. I see. Yes.
And he goes, what are you talking about?
I would have answered the part. I would have answered the part about bringing home some. Never mind.
But it was so funny.
No. What was it? Read the whole text.
Moment.
No, it was not a bad text. It was I can't talk right now. Working. Our HOA effing.
Go ahead and read it.
HOA effing sucks, and I'm tired of this. I don't know what it means. The snow plow. Got it. Purdue is playing like blankety blankety blank 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 blank.
Oh my God!
And I'm over that. And I'm over that too. Just
sailor's
get home
mouth.
safely. I love you very much and miss you. That was all.
I think her new nickname should be Popeye.
That's what I said to Tom, people. Yeah, that was not a great time in my life at this day. But, it's all good.
Okay, at least you owned it.
Kelly, thank you for owning it. I've done that, man. I've texted people before that I said, oh, God, did I just text that person? So I got to go on to Mel now. Mel, what's going on with you? You have an ugliest car. What is it?
Well, I'm surprised you haven't found this one yet, but it's a Nissan Juke.
Oh, yeah. Is that's the first one people mentioned?
That was the first one we jumped. Yep.
A lot of people hate the way that car looks.
Yep.
Over in England, they call it the Joke.
You know what? Someone else mentioned that too. I don't know what they have against it. I think it's kind of cute. What about that little electric Beamer? The little looks like a mini car almost. People, it looks so ugly. Anyway, also, what about that little Mercedes car? What do they call that? Anyway, that little tiny one looks like a half a car or a quarter of a car. More coming up.
It's the best time of the year. It's buy one, get one free time on select Redbird.
It sold through Mercedes. I don't know who.
Smart car.
Do you like the Mini Coopers? I like those.
They're not bad.
Another European car you need to ditch as soon as you can.
Yeah.
What's that?
You need to ditch them as soon as you can, just like any other European car, man. Get rid of that thing.
They just aren't made to last.
No.
They're not made to own past 80,000.
And they're way over-engineered. You ever put a clutch in one of them goddamn things? You got to take the whole fucking...
I have 20,000 miles on my X7. I should get rid of it. I just want to get rid of it for boredom reasons. I know. God damn it. It's not going to happen, though. I don't know. I bitch about it all the time. But really, those Model S's, they are
unbelievable. Yeah. Well, Rodney was here, a couple of weeks ago, talking about the dealer auctions. He's watching the pricing.
I should have never gotten rid of my G-Wagon started costing, and that was bullshit. I didn't even have that many miles on it. Really started costing, you piece of shit.
Yeah. You good?
When are they going to stop surcharging these pieces of shit?
Which ones?
The G-Wagons.
They're still doing it?
Yeah, they are. To be honest with you, these are boring me too.
Mm-hmm.
The G-Wagons. I mean,
I'm bored with all cars right now. There's nothing
that's
that.
exactly
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
They're all following the same conventions,
Mhm.
interior-wise. I mean, there's nothing that just excites
That was
me.
probably for the best. There was really nobody out there. Okay. This should be good tomorrow. Well, it should be a really good day now, huh? Well, good. Okay, love you, baby. Bye.
Wrong number?
It's my daughter.
I'm just kidding.
I love that saying that having a daughter is like having a poor friend who thinks you're rich.
Mhm.
I love that one.
Well, see, my daughter has no real concept of money, though.
Neither does mine.
She really doesn't. I mean, $1 to her is the same as $100. It really doesn't matter.
My daughter does work. Your daughter works, right?
Yeah.
My daughter works hard. I can't fault her there, but she doesn't want to do anything beyond just work. I mean, it's like she's a fucking server. I mean, that's just like.
Yeah, my daughter would love to get some more hours, but she can only have so much. Otherwise it interferes with her benefits. So.
What kind of benefit?
SSI and
Why does she have that? Is she disabled?
Yeah, she's got 9th chromosome disorder.
I don't know what
so it's very similar to Down syndrome. It's a chromosomal disorder. So
what is her her chronological age?
Probably closer to about 12 or 13.
Oh, and she works.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
Is she on her own?
Yes, she moved into her own place about a year ago with.
Be like 12 or 13 on your own.
Yeah, she's capable of a lot of things.
Does she have people look in on her?
No, she does have a live-in boyfriend now. She had a roommate.
Did she find her boyfriend where she works or within her?
No, through other programs, showing up for some of the day stuff that she'll go and do. But she had a roommate who was much more disabled than Maria. And then before her lease was even out, she actually developed multi-personality disorder.
Yeah. Who did?
The other girl.
Oh. Now, does your daughter is it like a Downs?
Somewhat. She's very high functioning.
Okay.
So, but
can you tell by looking at her that she has like a?
Not really. I mean, she still kind of looks younger for her age, but
not like the Downs. I call it the Downs look. I don't know.
You can see a little bit in her eyes, but not much.
So she's allowed to make a certain amount.
She's only allowed to make a certain amount. Otherwise, things like some of her housing
She loves working.
assistant, she loves it. She loves to work. She was also, she loved school. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, that girl worked her ass off. If she came home with a D, I pat her on the back because I know damn well she worked as hard as she could for that D.
Right.
So I had her in here once.
I don't remember.
Yeah, she came in here with me once.
Was I here?
Yeah.
I don't know how I would forget that. The only thing, I only remember Rat Bastard. when Rat Bastard was just a little puppy. Oh my God, how cute.
He was a good-looking pup.
Is he still healthy?
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
How old is he?
7, right?
Wow.
Yeah, 7.
And he hunts well.
Mm-hmm. He's a
Did
beast.
he come trained or did you have to train him?
No, I did that. I trained him.
I don't even know how you train a dog to hunt.
It's just flat out. Well, for some dogs, I mean, you usually want to stick with certain breeds because it's kind of in them. But then it's just repetitive. And
You run them with other dogs too that are trained really helps.
Can't with him.
No?
Nope, he doesn't tolerate other dogs.
No kidding.
Oh, really?
Nope. I mean, it took us weeks when we brought the puppy in.
Labs are usually pretty fucking friendly.
Oh, hell yeah. It took us weeks that finally was like, okay, I think it's safe to leave her home when we're not looking.
Oh, no.
Yeah, because he would have killed her.
Wow.
And now the two are Mutt and Jeff. So.
Now, when we had property, we had an Aussie and a Border Collie, and they would herd the goats and stuff around. But
Border Collies are so
throw a pup in with them, and the pup just mimics.
Yeah.
You know.
I've got a friend.
Border Collies are so smart.
Mm-hmm.
Way too smart. They know more about what's going
on. It's all they do is take your money and your freedom. We'll talk about it. 630 KHOW, Denver's talk station.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. What is happening in your life? Today is Car Day. We're talking about all kinds of stuff, though. Anything you want to talk about. We were talking about the ugliest cars, old or new, that you think. I think, as I said before, the newer ones I don't think so much are ugly as much as they are boring. And we're also talking about the cars driven by jerks the most. But Kenny wants to talk about car insurance. Kenny, hi. What's going on, Kenny?
I'm looking for some good car insurance as cheap as possible because they just keep raising it.
Yeah, and there's really, okay, you're not going to find cheap, but you will find some cheaper than others, okay, if that makes sense. There is no cheap coverage anymore. And, of course, if you are looking for cheap, you can find basic coverage, but that doesn't protect you. Now, you may not need protection if you have a low net worth and no one will come after you. So what is your situation? Let's talk about that first. What is your situation?
Well, I'm going to be 65, and then I have my wife, and I have a son.
And you're going to be 65, and do you have a lot of net worth?
Enough.
Like, tell me what you have. Do you have a house?
Yes.
And how much equity?
A lot, $500,000.
And what about savings or investments?
A little, $100,000.
Okay, so yeah, you need more than the minimum insurance. And you know that, right?
Yeah, I guess my question is all this like AARP pulls up on the phone?
No, they're not good.
No,
none of it. You listen, you're going to run into trouble if you try to find online stuff, okay? You need to talk to an agent, a broker, local. I want you to call Compass Insurance Group.
Okay.
And I want you to talk to them because they represent about 26 companies or so. They're not beholden to any one company, and they will shop the best for you and what you need. But you do not beware of low price insurance that's just going to do like, what is the state minimum right now? 15 and 25? Is it that small, or is it 25? I mean, 25. Whatever it is, the first car accident you have, they'll come after your house. I mean, you do not want cheap you Now, is your
I didn't mean cheap. I meant
I understand. What is your car? Are you going to do collision and comprehensive and liability? Right?
Yeah. They're all like new. There's a 2016 Silverado. There's a 2017 Honda Civic. There's
then you're going to want all that coverage, and you can get group coverage and then get your home. See, if you do this group policy, you're going to save money. What are you paying now if you take your 3 cars plus your house? What are you paying right now?
I don't know what the house is. My wife's kind of takes care of that one.
But you're going to get the best prices. To get the best prices, you should group them together.
Right. No, like I take care of the vehicle, she takes care of the house.
What I mean is you should group the house and cars together to get the best rates.
It is. I just don't know what the
Oh,
dollar
okay.
figure
Got
is.
it. So now here's what I want you to do. Ask for an insurance checkup at Compass, 303-996-9000.
996-9000.
Yeah. And you ask for an insurance checkup. Tell them you talked with me. I would love to hear the results, what you're paying now, and what they were able to find. That would be wonderful if you could do that for us, okay? Now, it is Chopper's turn. Deputy Chopper, you have a follow-up? What's going on, man?
Yes, sir. Actually, I guess these are kind of what I would call a shout down to three different merchants. Do you want me to go ahead?
Yes, sir. One at a time here. Let me check him out here. Go ahead.
Okay, do you remember this one started in January 18th? A poor guy had a RV problem, and it's been in Texas since then.
Yes. I'm trying to find that one. What was his name? What
was
the
David, but the company was Rocky Mountain, Brighton.
I remember this guy. This guy had a breakdown, and it was down there, and they couldn't get it fixed or something. It was a mess.
Yeah, the toll bill was too much to bring it back, but now Ford has stepped up, and he should be getting it back. The second one, Tom.
Well, that's good. I mean, keep us informed on that one. That was a really frustrating one.
The second one was the guy that went to Firestone up there on 104th, then drove his car to work.
What? Yeah.
The wheel fell off.
Is that where? I remember that. What is his first name?
Brian.
Ryan.
No, Brian with a B.
Okay, Brian. Got it. Okay, so go ahead. And what's going on with that one?
I have talked and pushed. They play the game of we'll get back to you, but they never get back. His car is still up there at Firestone, and he's getting nailed with rental fees and everything.
They did 4 tires on his 2009 Subaru. He has 160,000 miles on it. One went flat. They replaced the tire, and on the same day, that wheel fell off. Are they agreeing to fix it? It's just been delayed?
Yes, they are agreeing to fix it. I used an old technique that I learned from you. They're willing to fix it and give him the car on an insurance claim. But they haven't done it. He's still waiting.
Did they even start on it?
No, we are just hoping they respond to the insurance claim that he had to fill out. And then I have one more.
Okay. Now, hold on. On that other one, they're willing to fix it. Okay. Are they waiting for the insurance to pay, maybe?
No, because we filed a claim with it's Firestone's.
Their insurance.
They're going to pay for it, but yeah. They just aren't doing it.
Okay, we're going to have to step this up a bit. Maybe have to. I don't know what to do on this one. This is okay. What's the next one? I got to think about that one. What's the next one?
The last one happened clear back in October of 2023, and this is a solar company. You might remember this.
What's her name or his name?
I think it was Mike and Kelly.
Mike. Okay, let's go. What happened?
The solar company is Ion Solar.
Oh, yeah. I remember something with Ion.
They didn't qualify. So they went to another solar company, which qualified them. They had the solar system put on. Now, as of this week, Ion is sending them a letter saying, you're now qualified. We're coming out to put a solar system on. And I said, well,
they can't do that. I mean, didn't the contract expire, for goodness sakes?
Yeah, but they had some sort of little one-sentence clause in it about you owe us $5,000 or else. But They haven't pushed for
Wait,
that.
do they
But
still
it's
want the
funny.
solar or not?
No, they got the solar from another company that did a
Oh,
great job.
no. So now this company is saying that that's ridiculous. They didn't qualify, and so they went with another company, and then these jerks come back months later saying, now you qualify. Well, how long were they expecting to keep that contract open? There's no way. There is no way. And they want them to pay like liquidated damages or something?
I think that's how you would refer to it.
Did you talk to them about it?
Oh, yeah, we've talked to them, and they're not going to do it. And at least that Ion Solar has not pushed, for their $5,000.
Here's what I would say. I want them to stay in touch with us if Ion tries to collect that money. Let's just leave it alone until then.
That's what I said, and they will. That's all I've got. I'm working on some others, but I just wanted the listeners to know we don't give up.
Well, okay. I wanted to ask you something. So we were joking around about going and rescuing Mark and Suzanne. And some guy said, well, you should just land the helicopter. Now, you said that if there's loose snow on the ground and you try to land a helicopter, you could get into big trouble. Isn't that right?
I said you could get a whiteout condition.
Right.
You're a good pilot. It probably wouldn't affect you.
No. But you would stir up a lot, and you could literally be blind.
Oh, yeah.
And when you're blind, you don't know where the ground is exactly, and it can disorient you. Right. That could be.
True.
Yep. And so a lot of people don't understand that. Why can't they rescue people under certain conditions? They can if they stay farther above the ground, but if they don't, they actually cause a condition that's dangerous to themselves and others. It's really weird. But the reason I'm talking Chopper
that's
about
why the Coast Guard and everyone has wrenches, so they don't get down that low and cause that.
Now, can that happen near the ocean too with water or not?
Well, the ocean is a little bit different story, but you lose your perceptive on the horizon. And that's what throws a lot of people off. You don't know where you're at because you don't know where the horizon is.
Sometimes, and that happens more at night, and that's what they speculated happened to young John Kennedy, that he wasn't, they kept saying the weather was clear, but he was truly in blackout conditions because he was in a clear sky over clear water and a clear everything, and he didn't know where he was. I mean, and he was gradually just getting lower and lower and lower and lower and lower. And that can happen too.
And with your bird or the bird I used to fly, you can go out east and lose all the lights
at night.
Kind of have the same condition.
That's exactly right. In fact, one of the things that they used to do with me in Florida and here for your recurrent training is in Florida, they would head out to the ocean. They would head out toward the, we were on the Gulf side, so they would head west. You'd go offshore, and it would be at night, and then they'd make you do maneuvers in complete black condition, not being able to see the horizon. And the same thing here at night. If you head east at night, and it's not a really big starry night, you could totally be in pitch black. Yeah. That's interesting. Thank you, Chopper. I appreciate it. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. By the way, denverregen.com. That's the website to find out more about your weight loss semaglutide. And that is a compounded drug that has the same ingredient as Ozempic and Wegovy, and that's for losing weight at $250 a month, and that's denverregen.com, the lowest price you'll find, denverregen.com.
Join Mark Pat.
So anyway, this lady works with Freedom Service Dogs, and these dogs take extensive training. And they're trained for anything for like PTSD to, amputees and so on and so forth. But they'll commonly, when they're working with these dogs, they'll commonly bring them home and work with them at the house and socialize them with other dogs and so on and so forth. problem is these dogs don't forget their training when you leave. So you'll walk back in and all the lights are on.
Hold on. All right, I want to talk to John Fuller right now. Fuller Law. He's a personal injury attorney at myaccidentlawyer.co. And John, years ago, I'm wondering if anything changed. Years ago, I did a story about a guy that was hit by a snowplow, and he had massive injuries. It changed his life forever. I don't want to get into that case right now, but I know that he had a very, very hard time collecting. What happens now? What if you are hit and injured by a snowplow?
Yeah, so it's an interesting question, and it comes down, Tom, to which snowplow you get hit by, because there are quite a few different snowplows. There are state snowplows run by CDOT. There are municipal snowplows. There are private snowplows. There are snowplows that are hired and commissioned by HOAs and the people that are keeping Mark and Suzanne from coming to work today. It just really depends on who it is. And so my advice to people is that if something like that happens, it's very, very, very important that you get as much information as you can about who the operator of that snowplow is and what the circumstances are that brought them to that particular place. Are they traveling between locations? Are they acting as a subcontractor? Or are they, the actual contractor that's providing the service? All of that stuff becomes critically important as we try to sort out the issues surrounding snowplows. The second issue is you can almost be assured that the finger's going to get pointed back at you, and insofar as they're suggesting that there's a comparative negligence or you shouldn't have tried to pass a snowplow or anything like that. So make no mistake, I'm encouraging people to give snowplows a wide berth. They're much bigger than you, and it's hard to control that machinery. But in the event that something happens and you're injured and it's not your fault, do your due diligence to protect yourself and get the information that we'll need to be able to get to the bottom of it and get you a good outcome.
John Fuller, Fuller Law. If you need to get a hold of him after any accident, he'll talk to you free of charge. If you hire him, it's on a percentage fee basis. And he personally gives you his cell phone number to call or text at any time. Notice the difference at Fuller Law, 303-597-4500, 597-4500, myaccidentlawyer.co.
So but they'd come home and, like I said, lights would all be turned on.
Mm-hmm.
All the cupboards are pulled open. Laundry's been taken out of the dryer. Just depending on their training, they're practicing. They're young, so they're excited about their training.
Oh, that's
they're
funny.
left to their own devices. They're going around doing what you told them to.
Oh, that's funny.
But speaking of snowplows, you see that one on Berthoud Pass? They had Berthoud Pass closed because they're trying to clear it. With snow mitigation, avalanche mitigation, and some jackass decides to run the barrier. And so he's cruising through there. He gets up there. There's cop chasing him and everything else. Yeah, one of the snowplows took it on himself. Boom, took him off the road. See ya. Guy actually got out of the vehicle and tried to run away.
Where?
It's like, where are you going, dude?
Yeah.
They caught him down in Empire. It was Empire Police that actually picked him up. And then it turns out the guy also has felony warrants. So why would you do something stupid like go through a closed road when you got felony warrants out?
They do that shit all the time. I used to have a tow truck a long time ago before I grew a brain. And we were pulling one out of Clear Creek. So State Patrol's got both lanes closed. We need 30 minutes, whatever. Guy goes around the traffic just as they're pulling the cable out. So the Jeep. So almost like a fishing pole. You can hear the cables cut this guy's. And he just stripped the cable off the tow truck right in front of two state patrolmen. And everybody's looking like, they followed him to his house. He was drunk.
Surprise.
There's the Jeep in the garage with, this line across the front of it, a cable.
Lucky it didn't
100-foot cable hanging from it. But yeah, idiots. We actually had more trouble with tow trucks getting hit when we were on scene with police than anything.
Really?
Fly to the moth kind of effect. says police advise residents to leave their car keys near the front door.
Oh, yeah.
So in case somebody breaks in, they don't have to.
That's up in Canada. That's in Canada.
Canada?
Yeah.
TrajanWealth.com. Denver's talk station. Online at khout.com.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Plenty of time for calls. Also, 303-MARTINO, 303-627-8466. We have Kevin Calkin with us from Sheridan Auto Tech, Jeff Vick, Kimmer Transmission. Let's talk about snow like this. And it hasn't been extremely cold or windy. Does snow like this present any real problem to a car? I mean, I don't think it does, but does it?
Well, I mean, in any snow condition, I mean, particularly Kevin's going to see a lot of people come in with curb shots.
Curb shots, yeah.
Do what?
Hitting curbs, bending the front end, sliding, yeah.
When we get heavier snow like we got now, we'll start getting inundated with people who thought they could rock themselves out.
Yep.
Doing it
Okay,
improperly.
now tell me,
going back
what
and
does
forth.
that do to a transmission?
When you're going back and forth and reverse to drive, they're not rocking it properly. So they're taking a moving vehicle. So you've got
never thought of
7,000 pounds. You're moving in one direction, and then you're immediately trying to change direction without stopping.
So what does that do?
It's just like any two parts. If you're banging them together and trying to pull them apart,
So it does slam the gears
it will
together.
slam stuff
And it
together.
overheats them when they sit there and spin them.
Yeah.
So is there a
clutches.
way to properly rock?
Yeah, I mean, you want to use the momentum of the vehicle itself. I mean, you'll get some natural rock and roll out of it. So if you're going forward, you're tipping into it.
But you want
to
to come to a total stop before you change.
Or just, if you can, even while it's still in gear, because you've got a hydraulic slip, naturally the momentum will bring you back, and then you can try to change your momentum again.
Can you hurt your car by spinning your wheels by trying to get
yeah.
out? Not
Oh, yeah.
rocking, but just spinning?
Especially if it grabs real hard.
Uh-huh.
You could strip gears. You could the planetaries and the
So
tranny.
if you
yeah.
spin real hard and then all of a sudden it grabs, you can do damage.
You can definitely do damage, and particularly most, differentials are what we call an open carrier. You don't have posi traction. So when you lose traction and one wheel's spinning and the other one stays stationary, well, you've got smaller gears in there, and they are spinning at an incredible rate, and they will eventually come apart.
Oh, my goodness. These are things we don't know. And that's even before you redline RPMs?
100%.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. They're not made for it. They're not made to stand it.
So the RPM is the engine RPM, not the wheel RPM?
Correct.
Okay. And the other things like that, never knew about those things. These are good to know. I mean, I have an all-wheel drive car that was pretty heavy, but it was wet snow, and all of a sudden I found myself not being able to move on one section. So what I did was, wait a minute, this is an all-wheel drive, supposed to be a ballsy car. And I was shocked. I was trying to come out of a parking space in this parking lot that was loaded with wet snow. And then, so what I did is I was able to move forward, Jeff. So I moved forward, put on my brake. Then I put it in reverse and gunned it. And then I got out. But I mean, what do you do when you start slipping? You do not want to just spin.
You don't want to just spin. And quite frankly, you're going to make that slip condition worse anyway, because you're just creating ice or a slickery condition underneath the tires.
All right, so we talked about spinning. We talked about rocking. What else? What other things? Can you get any problems from ice and snow accumulating underneath? Not really, right?
The only thing I've seen sometimes is get up in the cooling fans.
I've seen
if you're stuck in a drift or something, the snow will pack and your cooling fans aren't coming on.
And I've seen it where it'll actually ice up around the shift cable, where now it's actually stuck in whatever position it's at because it's frozen around it.
Really? But do most cars have cables now for shifting?
These are starting to be fewer and fewer, but yeah, the majority of them still do.
And those cables can freeze up.
Yeah. You'll get ice will build up around them just like anything
As
else.
snow melts and we have slushy, wet conditions, have you ever noticed in the spring, this happens a lot in Colorado, where you have like some intersections that get so deep and people just barrel through it? Can you hurt your car?
Depending on where that water goes, yeah. I mean,
Okay,
you can
where do you
swamp
not
it.
want the water?
You don't want to go in the intake.
Because it will hurt your engine.
You will lock an engine up. You're done.
Yep.
You're done.
Yeah.
Why?
Hydraulic lock.
Yeah, it can't compress water.
It can't. So it bends stuff.
Yes.
Water is that strong.
Yes.
For automotive purposes, a liquid cannot be compressed. Or for what we're trying to do.
It has to be atomized, like
Right.
and exploded.
Exactly.
And the water, when it splashes
It
in,
will lock it up. So
Yeah.
although a liquid can be compressed, we're not running the kind of materials and the kind of compression that it actually takes to do that.
So is this why when you have cars that do a lot of off-roading, they have these high snorkel intakes
Exactly.
to keep water and debris out of the engine.
Yeah, and they'll raise all their vents to keep them out of the transmission, to keep them out of the differentials, and so on and so forth.
What about the actual exposure, not the intake, but the exposure of the elements of the engine and the lower part of the engine to water when you're driving through water?
The only thing that's really susceptible would be where they mount computers sometimes. They're not...
But there's no way water can get into an engine just driving through it. It's the intake you're worried about.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose it's possible if that engine was hot enough and that water's cold enough, you can start cracking components too. I mean,
Now,
we've
I've
seen
seen,
that happen in
it's
car
like, I've
washes.
seen videos at times, maybe YouTube's, where people have these aggressive four-wheel drive trucks and these big giant snorkels, so the intake is totally protected. And the engine is damn near half underwater. How do they run?
Well, you're not running those hot temperatures. It's in theory, like I said, you could crack it. I mean, we've seen people crack things like heads by trying to wash their engines inside the car wash
So
bay.
the engines are pretty much waterproof then. Otherwise, things would be leaking out of them.
Correct.
Sure.
So you can barrel through that a bit. I mean, it's not going to be the greatest. Now, where does it start really affecting in the electrical part, though? You can't get water on that
Typically
kind
in
of.
the interior. You start getting water, some
Yeah, of
even as
course.
much as a couple inches on the floor will submerge computers.
But manufacturers do a lot in order to try to protect electrical components. There's all sorts of weather sealing just on connectors themselves, on wires that go from
And
one
are
side of
there
the car to
things
the
we
other.
can do to further protect our cars?
From water?
Yeah, no, well, from moisture.
Stay out of it.
From moisture. What about is there a spray or other things you can do to protect your cars?
It's really not necessary as long as somebody
as long as you do
hasn't
normal,
undone it.
Normal operation.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. But the other thing is, too, is when all this is gone, okay, they've been treating our roads with salt brine and mag chloride, and it's extremely corrosive. After the snow is gone, get a car wash and make sure to get an undercarriage wash.
Undercarriage,
Get
get it
that
washed.
out of there.
Yeah, because that's corrosive.
It's corrosive. It's rusting your car to bits.
Okay, so when I had a car, I wanted to really take good care of it in the past, and I would do all my own stuff. These years, look, we all had cars we've nurtured like kids, right? Do you remember gunk?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you'd spray it on the engine and clean it off. Is there any reason to ever clean your engine as an individual? Seriously now.
Maybe to
Is
get
there
rid of
anything
old
you want to
residues
get,
from
other
leaks.
than making it look good, is there anything you help your engine by cleaning it out with a wand from the car wash or a
Unless
hose?
you have oil, because oil will soften the coatings on the electrical and the hoses and
But
everything
newer
else.
engines probably won't happen.
Probably won't have a leak. You won't have to keep, just blow it off with air if you want to blow the dust off.
And most cars I notice nowadays are shrouded to a point where they almost look like they're all like molded.
Yep. You
Some
can't
of them
even
are-
see the motor.
No, you can't.
Nope.
So you guys have to take all that crap off just to look at it.
In some cases, it's as easy as pulling the oil cap and then moving it out of the way. They're not held down with a whole lot.
Oh, okay. But this shrouding, is that for cooling, for looks, or for what? Cosmetics or
A little bit of everything there. I mean, yeah, you want to keep the one idea is you want to keep the individuals who own these vehicles out of the engine bay.
Right.
They don't want them touching stuff. Yeah, you can get some more cooling effect from it because your trapping air is coming through. You are really just making it more aesthetically pleasing when you open it up.
You really are. You really are. But the days of those engines, you open up the hood and can see right through to the ground and all
No.
around. You don't see ever.
No.
Ever.
Very few.
Yeah.
Some trucks maybe, but yeah, very, very
Anyway, we have more coming right up. I'll never forget the first time I opened up one of those hoods and thought,
where the hell's the motor?
like to fucking jump the car. Looked like a slick piece of plastic and shit.
It's actually worse to get the shielding off of the bottom of
Yes.
the car than it is off the top.
Because they ground the heads when they bottom them out. And, yeah.
Caravans used to be real good at that, boy. Oof.
Smart cars. They're not smart.
They're not.
I'm tired of them. So that Wade guy resigned, the special prosecutor.
Yep, he did.
Made it
So
easy
does
on
he
him.
have to
She
give
would've
the money
fired him
back
anyway.
Does he have to give the money back?
Probably not. $500,000, whatever they paid him.
And they went on trips.
Yep.
Keel and Park, they are estate planning attorneys that we know and trust and use as experts, and you can too for yourself. Here's how they do business. Keel and Park, the common spelling with E on the end of each of those names. Keel and Park will meet with you free of charge and go over your entire estate, whether it be your homes and business, your kids, your heirs, the stuff you own, the stuff that you're shedding or selling, all of it, and come up with a plan free of charge on what it will take to protect your assets, your heirs, and your legacy. Now, if you decide to, then after they do this evaluation free of charge, they come up with flat rate pricing to implement your estate plan. If you decide to do all of it or some of it, you pay accordingly, and you know everything up front. No hourly, no nickel and diming. LawKP.com. LawKP.com. 970-818-8198. You know, we talk about cars on Fridays, and part of that category are recreational vehicles. Recreational vehicles are big, and most of the time they can't get them into regular garages, and you need a good maintenance facility. Lazy Days RV, they are the RV authority with a beautiful maintenance facility at I-25 and exit 240, right on the frontage road. And it used to be Century RV. Our friends up there are now Lazy Days RV, Lazy Days of Denver at Longmont, and you can find them at lazydays.com for all your RV needs. Lazydays.com. Okay, Kelly's texting me again. I wonder if
Uh-oh. Don't forget to call me when you get home.
Don't touch the pictures. Yeah.
The Cybertruck.
I'm going to pass on it.
Yeah, I could do much better with $100,000, I think, than that. I don't know.
It looked like somebody put wheels on a dreidel.
I think straight black interiors are so fucking boring. Ah. If you go to a dealer and you want to order, let's say a G-Wagon, why should they charge you an extra $75,000 just to do that over invoice? Well, why couldn't they just, if they don't have a stat, they don't have an inventory, they don't have to do anything except take an order.
Yep.
It comes in, it goes out, they can make money.
Sure.
But they surcharge every fucking one of them. They surcharge the shit out of them.
They've been doing it for years, though, with different models.
Yeah, but not
cars.
with this. Since COVID, this thing has been like, well, just before COVID, they mark them up $50,000 to $75,000.
That's crazy.
I mean,
why not just raise the price? I mean, why
California,
rub your nose in it?
I mean, the manufacturers, the MSRP are deals.
Yeah.
But no one sells for MSRP. No one. Not one.
Do they hold their value, though, as far as like a year-old one or something? Like?
Yeah, they do.
So you're still paying a premium?
Even the older ones. Yeah, even the older ones. Yeah, they kind of do hold their value. Yeah, except if you, of course, try to trade them or something. Then those motherfuckers want to rob you. Yeah. As always.
I was just curious because you're paying what, $200 for a new one?
If you can find one for 200,
But I mean, what does your old one cost?
180, 190.
Oh, so they're still way up there. Okay. I thought they'd take a big hit after the first year.
But I refuse to do it. I just fucking refuse it. But I just don't understand why, though. I mean, are they that desirable? Are they actually? Are people really paying that?
Story. What's it worth? It's worth what somebody will pay for it.
Like, for example, on a 2024, one of them, just a regular 2024 G, not the AMG. It's the MSRP is $190,400, right? You'll have to pay $50 to $75 on top of that. You will never get it for that MSRP.
10 seconds.
They don't have them backed up, do they?
And a 2022.
Left right here in Colorado, and we'll have a lot of fun doing it. Join me at 4.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. We haven't talked about this in a while, but has supply of all of the repair parts, and so are they back to normal? Is everything back to normal, the supply chain? Are we still, we can't possibly be feeling COVID anymore.
I don't know if it's COVID or they just...
I think it's the new normal.
It is.
Not COVID.
I agree.
I think it's the new normal. I think what happened was people realized the cost of stocking, the cost of inventory, the cost of all of this, and they just make people wait.
Mm-hmm.
I've never heard of any body shop yet since COVID, and I'm not going to blame COVID entirely, but you used to be able to get your car in a body shop and back in a week. That never happens.
I'm
ever.
waiting until July 1st to get my truck in.
Okay, that's to get it in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I've waited months to get it in, and then it was a month to get it out. I mean, you just don't get things done in a week anymore.
No, you're absolutely right.
And here's what I said to the body shop. Don't have me bring my car. This was a minor thing. Don't have me bring it in until you have the parts.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't want to sit, order the parts. And then they say, well, we don't know everything we need. I said, but you know pretty much what you need, right? Don't you think, Jeff?
For the most part, I mean, until they take it apart, there may be unseen damages, but you can at least get what you can see.
Yeah.
What about new car prices? Are they still at a premium, or do you think they're more realistic? I guess it depends on the car, doesn't it?
I really haven't heard of people getting the outrageous premiums that they were getting over MSRP as of recent.
No, it depends. You're right. And of course, cars like Tesla just dropped their prices. And that pissed off a lot of legacy buyers, people who used to buy them and love them. They're saying, look, you just screwed my investment. But a lot of cars, now the electric cars, are the electric cars selling? And what are you guys doing about that? Kevin, have you had to have given this thought? I know you're old enough, you might be retired and say the hell with it. I don't know what you plan on doing with your shop.
We're taking a lot of different classes. And
Are
different,
you? I mean, you're going to have to learn it, right?
Exactly. Because we do other work on the electric cars other than the electric part. You know, the suspension, brakes, other things. So
are they all about the same as a gas car?
Very similar. Very similar.
Or are they lighter and different?
You can't tell.
And then, Jeff, there's no transmission, right?
There is no transmission. No, they're pretty much a direct drive.
So how does this affect you? And there's going to be so many. You do mostly older work anyway, older cars.
The fact of the matter is the electric car is not selling the way the government is trying to force them down people's throats. You have the electric Ford Mustang. They cannot keep those out on the lot because nobody wants to drive them.
Okay, so you're saying that even though the government says 2035,
the consumer doesn't want it.
2035, is that unrealistic for 100%?
Until they build an infrastructure, yes. We don't have an infrastructure that's going to be able to.
What is it? 5% of the cars are electric now, or 3%?
They had, California had to tell everybody, please don't charge your cars tonight. We don't have enough power.
Mm-hmm.
I just Googled when will electric cars take over. Actually, it says here that by 2030, now listen, that's not a long time away. They say the global market will be near 90%. Do you really believe that?
No, we were also supposed to be underwater by now if you listen to Al Gore.
But do you so I don't know, but a lot of people are saying they don't want electric cars. Okay? And what is the deadline? Is it 2030? I believe it is. President Biden's order was never mind. Never mind. It says here 50% of all new vehicles by 2030. That should be easy. No, in 6 years or not? Oh no, that might. What is the percentage? What are the percentages right now? Do you know?
I haven't got a
percentage.
Clue.
We'll find that out. But people, here's what I want to know. What is keeping you right now from buying an electric car? You can text me as well. 303-713-8. Let me look at my check. I haven't in a while here. Oh, ugly cars. On the text. But by the way, text me that too, or call me on that. What's keeping you from an electric vehicle? Here, listen to this one. The Reliant Robin. I've never heard of a Reliant Robin. What the hell is a Reliant Robin? An ugly car.
Don't know.
The other one says the DeLorean is an ugly car. Yeah, I agree. More coming right up.
Car.
Okay.
It looks. I mean, I don't think that thing was ever in the States. It's definitely a European tag on the car. It's a 3-wheeled car.
Oh. Oh my God! Is that an ugly piece of shit?
It's English. It's a British car.
It's the dumbest piece of shit too.
Looks like somebody stole something off it.
Style.
Wow.
The dumbest.
I think it marked my way.
I guess I didn't know why, but.
Maybe he got his tractor unstuck.
Suzanne, I got it up for
I
you.
got it out.
Now this time, stay out of the deep stuff. I was going to rub it in some more.
What do I love about ZeroResDenver.com? Absolutely nothing. In other words, that's what they put in their cleaning solutions. Nothing. They have purified, softened, alkaline-based water with a small electrical charge. It's ZR water. It's the best, most powerful cleaning agent in nature. I absolutely love Zero Res because everything they clean feels and looks like new. And I say feels like new because your carpets don't have any dirt-attracting residue. Neither does your upholstery or your mattresses or anything you have cleaned. They even do duct cleaning right now, 3 rooms for $109. A free hallway goes along with that, and $75 off duct cleaning. You can't do better than getting Zero-fied. That means all clean and no residue. Zerofication. 303-471-5150. The only cleaners I let in my home, ZeroResDenver.com. The Art of Granite. I love the way they do business. I wish everyone did. You call them up and get a price. Wouldn't that be great if people love their deals so much they'd brag about them on the phone? The Art of Granite does that. Mitch Floria, theartofgranite.com. All you have to do is give a call and he'll give you a price, whether it's granite or quartz, quartzite marble, man-made materials, natural stone. He does it all. Tear out and haul away's free. The bathroom vanity free when you do the kitchen. And he has a host of other deals. In fact, I have to tell you about him right now. I should have had this pulled up because this is an incredible deal. Right now, free backsplash, free kitchen sink, free premium edge treatments, and 15% off the entire job. That's crazy. If you add cabinets, you get 25% off your counters. This is incredible right now. Theartofgranite.com, 303-386-5919. All right, we're out of here. No, we're not. I actually have to talk a few more minutes, but we will.
What do you think electric cars that widespread's going to do to insurance, though?
What's
You know,
that?
The batteries and stuff in a car wreck add, what, 20 grand to the cost of the repair of the car.
Well, and here's your other problem too. And they're already trying to figure out ways to recover the money that they're losing off of the taxes from gasoline sales for roads.
Yep. Well, you're going to have to pay a
The-
fee.
Well, they've proposed several times now charging you per mile what you drive,
Because they're actually torquier and they actually wear the road harder.
and they're heavier. Yeah. And you're not contributing. You know, if you have an electric car, then they should charge you per mile. I remember when E470 sent out the survey. Do you think we should put in free charging stations? BS. You got free diesel? I'm not paying for that crap. I mean, 470 should do what they do in Florida and have those oasis stations where where you don't have to get off and everything else.
I like those.
Yeah.
Remember the Corvair?
Yeah.
The most dangerous car on the road. Ralph Nader.
Yep, I remember that. Yeah, he hated that car.
Did you ever see Saturday Night Live? They showed a Ralph Nader dummy and what it looked like when a Corvair hit it.
That sounds about right. Those were weird, though. I remember the big-ass belt they got that runs the fan and everything,
Mhm.
the motor over. And, yeah, it was kind of strange.
We took one all the way to Florida for spring break.
Yeah. They weren't bad little cars. I mean, air cooled.
Well, the problem was is they didn't have enough weight in the front, so you caught air. You literally caught air.
Hydroplane too, real easy. Yeah.
Yeah.
The front ends would float, so you'd get them up, and then you lost steering capability.
Just all the weight.
That was Ralph Nader's concern: is that on the highway they couldn't sustain speeds and be safe.
They were really cute.
And they came in what?
I like the Ramblers too.
The 145 and the 165, the two different size engines.
There was a one Rambler that looked really cool. Was it Rambler? Is that what I? No. Sorry, Studebaker.
Studebaker.
Fucking loved them.
Okay.
Did you like Studebakers?
They were all right. I like Hudson's.
And then somebody got a hold of AMC and they got stupid. Matador.
Yeah. It was like International. That used to be a beast of a vehicle.
I had the first Honda ever, not the first one, but the first model ever imported Honda. It was a 600.
10 seconds.
Had to be that weird brown color.
No, mine was maroon.
Maroon?
It was a.
We'll talk about it. 630 KHOW, Denver's talk station.
So, my first brand new car. I was in college, and I paid $1,495 for it. It was a Honda 600, a 3-cylinder, or was it a 2? No, excuse me, 2-cylinder, 600cc. I forget how many cylinder. It was a 600cc. That's why they called it the 600.
It's the one that came with the blade so you could run over the grass, right?
Yeah. So anyway, this was a little Honda car. And I remember I said, I can't believe it. I'm going to get my first new car. I was in college. I was in Florida. And I figured I'd use it. Brought it home. You know, when you're in Florida and you go to college on spring break, you go home, back north instead of coming back south. Anyway, do you know how much it cost me? It cost me to drive home with that car, $10 in gas from Miami, Florida to New York. $10.
But during the Depression, that was quite a bit of money.
Yeah, right. So anyway, so that might have been 1975, right? No, earlier than that. I'm sorry, 73, 74. But here's the bottom line, is that Honda was the precursor of the Honda company. And then, but that was the first new car. What was your first new car? Your first new car?
It was actually a 2001 Chevy half-ton. Pickup.
And what was yours?
Mine was an 87 GMC pickup.
So pickups. Okay.
Yep.
And was that in Colorado?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So, yeah, and I wasn't into trucks at that time. But in any case, what was the lousiest car you have ever purchased in your life? Mine was a Saab. It was an old Saab.
Well, that's why we called them sob stories.
Oh, my God. Okay, good. Good. Boom. What about you? The lousiest car ever?
It was a 1974 Chevy Vega.
Okay, I can see that.
I had the Granada.
The Granada.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was a neighbor's car I bought going away to college because it was cheap, and I hated that car.
Okay, what was the biggest car you ever owned? Mine was a Pontiac Catalina.
Yep.
I drive a 3/4 ton Chevy now. So
Okay, I guess trucks would be.
I had
What about cars?
I had an Eldorado.
Okay, that would have been a boat. And then the smallest car, mine was that Honda 600. What would be the smallest vehicle you ever owned?
that was also the Vega.
What was the fastest vehicle you ever owned?
I got in a lot of trouble in a Chevelle SS.
What is that?
Chevelle SS.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I had a 67 Mustang.
Mine is either between the Corvette. It was a Greenwood Corvette, and it wasn't really owned. It was traded with Purifoy at the time. But it was my car, and at the time, and then a Ferrari. And the worst purchase I ever made was a Ferrari, as far as value. And people say why? Because it was stupid and it was expensive, and you couldn't drive it anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't drive it, couldn't put miles on it. Exotic cars are the stupidest thing you can ever do in your life, and I was young and stupid. Say that is the story there. If you want to buy an exotic car, a Corvette's the most practical at this point.
So now, many years later, he's no longer young.
Well, that's true. But even if that's right. But no matter what, they're stupid investments.
use that for
They're
an
not
excuse
investment.
now. Yeah.
Don't ever call a car an investment ever. Okay.
No.
So what was the slowest car you ever owned?
65 Volkswagen.
Okay, I had a Carmen Ghia.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say who I was ever actually truly lacking for too much power.
Ever.
So no.
Okay. No, my Volkswagen Bug was probably slower than a Carmen Ghia. But anyway, folks, that's fun. That's a car day. SheridanAutotech.com. And, of course, Jeff Fick is at transmissionsdenver.com. And they are auto experts. Save all your problems for me.
Follow Tom Martino at Real Tom Martino and stay.
Many years ago, but I was young and dumb. And I said, now many years later, he's no longer young.
Oh, boy. Now what? Do we hear more about the fucking non-storm?
Don't forget the camera.